This episode brought to you by Russian Black Widow mail-order brides. Once they get there, you're going to have a little fun, and then they're probably going to murder you. Most likely, reason being you are a piece of shit that orders mail-order brides.
Hey everybody, we're watching Black Widow, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findley and Todd Murray.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Kevin. I was in the office.
And I'm Todd. And I wasn't in that office.
You weren't in the office. My thing about doing a Kevin impression, and I realized it partially when I was doing in the last episode when I did a very brief Kingpin impression, is my Kevin is a little bit Kingpin, a little bit Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to have to watch him. I'm so bad with impressions. Like, so, oh, yeah, I'm Kevin. Yeah, see, that's what I've got there.
That's not bad.
That's what I've got.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
This wasn't good.
I have nothing else to say. Nice.
Fuck, I love that show.
I can do the accounting. I'll do your taxes.
You know, he made like more than $1 million on
Cameo.
whatever.
He's the #1 dude on Cameo. Yeah. I think he has just, like, he must have priced himself just right.
Right. So everybody was like, fucking, hey, let's get some from Kevin.
I still feel really bad for him, though, in one way, because he came out with an Office Rewatch podcast, and then, like, right at the same time, Angela Kinsey and Jenna Fisher came out with an Office Rewatch podcast.
Why didn't they all do it together?
And their podcast is the #1 podcast, like, out right now. Yeah.
Why would they add him?
Well, it's because he was doing his thing and they were doing their thing. Like, it was just, they were writing a book together on it and everything. Like, so it's just like, it's two girls who are just like, it's two girls who are just like best friends. He's actually now changing his podcast, and I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that
most likely
that is like, okay, well, my niche has been like pushed out by.
Well, I mean, they must be making good, money still.
Oh yeah.
That's what you royalties. Mm-hmm. That's what you want, man. You want like a show to go 6-7 seasons.
Yeah.
Because then you're in. You know somebody's going to pick it up.
Well, but think about The Office, too, because The Office, more than any other show, I will argue, in the history of TV, has because other shows like Seinfeld, Simpsons, all these things, they're, what's it called? The Big Bang. They're on the air still everywhere and all that. So, I mean, that's not new. But The Office is the only one that got more popular later. It was the #1 show on TV for a number of years.
Yes.
And now it's bigger now than it was
before.
Because now they have this worldwide thing going on, and it's just like, I can't remember what the numbers were, but they were saying like it was the #1 show on Netflix for a while, up against new shows.
Yep. And they had to spend a shit ton of money to keep it there. Like when they had Friends. Yeah. They were like, it is costing us so much fucking money to have Friends on here. It's like, we're going to have this for one more season and that's it. Let somebody else fucking take it.
Yeah, so what they did, they signed him to a long-ass contract so they can keep him, because eventually Peacock can just take it back.
Well, because it's NBC.
Yeah.
Man, when you get Peacock, you get WWE Network.
Yes, I heard about that.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Peacock's pretty cool, but because also it takes the shows that are like running on network, and they're putting them on too at the same time. So
fucking NBC, bud.
We did it.
The movie or something?
NBC, yeah. We just were. I did a half-ass Kevin impression right before and everything started.
Oh my lord!
But yeah, I think that we should probably watch Black Widow since we're here for the. I just realized I played that version of the. I'll fix it in post. But I played that version of the theme song, but we have the Marvel version.
Is that a retro one?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't put our Marvel one in.
Yeah,
there.
So I'm gonna put the Marvel one in. So none of this will matter to you. All right, so there we go. So there's only one thing for us to do now at this point, and that is to press play.
Now. Boom.
We did it. Dramatic music playing.
My buddy in Toronto does this.
Oh, nice.
He showed me a couple episodes
to the pages?
He showed me a couple. He's been doing American Dad.
Oh, nice.
Like the closed
captioning.
Not the closed captioning. Like not what they're saying. He walks into the room.
Oh, describe video.
Describe video. There you go.
Very good, very good.
Yes.
I actually I found out one on Sunday when I took my kids to my wife and kids to watch Spider-Man: No Way Home. Carrie's coworker's friend worked on Spider-Man: No Way Home, and she was responsible for de-aging Willem Dafoe.
No way.
So that was her job, was de-aging Willem Dafoe.
What was it? What did I know we're in the wrong movie, but what did that movie cost?
That movie, I think it was
the budget would just be astronomical.
I think it was like 75 million or something like that. So right off the
Spider-Man?
Yeah, so here, let me look it up just for
the budget.
Yeah, I think
the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's got to be like $250 million.
Oh, well, I could be way off, so let's find out.
75. That's probably what they paid for the cast.
Yeah, maybe.
For Christ's sakes.
Oh, it was $200 million.
There you go. So what's crazy is that Don't Look Up on Netflix. Yeah, what you see? Look what you fucking just did. See what happened?
I just trumped.
When that movie cost more than Spider-Man.
Yeah. That one was a real pay off your actors scenario.
Like, I mean, but like, you got to be fucking, yeah, exactly. Like, Jesus Christ, just to get a movie on Netflix that somebody's going to be like, oh, maybe we'll do it for Oscars.
So this was the beginning of Marvel taking, well, not really the beginning, but this was Marvel taking a real chance on another, like, unestablished, like, blockbuster director, you know what I mean? Like, it was somebody who had directed some stuff, but nothing that would give you any indication that they were capable of, like, putting together $150 million movie.
Right. Who is it?
Like her name's Kate Shortland. She's an Australian director.
Oh.
She directed Somersault with Abby Cornish and Sam Worthington. And then she directed Lore, which got her a ton of awards and film festivals, like, kind of all over the world. She also did Berlin Syndrome, which was nominated for, like, Best International Movie at Sundance.
They're watching.
So yeah, they're paying attention. They're looking for stuff. But moreover, it was Scarlett Johansson who approached her to do the movie. Now, it still had to go through the studios, and the studios approved her and stuff like that. But Scarlett Johansson saw Lore and said, "This is who you should be
This is who it should be."
Yeah. And it was written by Jack Schaefer, and she wrote on WandaVision, and she's writing on the upcoming Agatha House of Harkness.
Oh, I forgot about that. Do you think this girl looks like Mila Jovovich?
Oh, do you know why? Her name's Ever Anderson. She's the daughter of Mila Jovovich.
No.
Yes.
No, for real?
Yes, Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich's daughter is Ever Anderson. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's very funny.
I've seen this little girl in a lot of shit, too.
That
it's a girl.
No. Oh, sorry. I just didn't finish my sentence. I was going to say, is Morgan Freeman.
You mean that?
Yes.
Like, yeah, that girl? I don't even notice her.
That thing right there, that object.
And here he is.
David Harbour. And Rachel Weisz, too, just like nothing but love for her. She's in a lot of stuff, and like more than you think about.
Right.
Sometimes, like, she feels like she's one of those super choosy actresses who just appears in like a big thing, but it's like she was in Chain Reaction. She was in The Mummy.
Oh, the Chain. Not the
Chain
Reaction.
She was in Constantine. Which, by the way, is Keanu Reeves was interviewed recently, and he was asked what role, if he could like go back and play any role again, what one would it be? And he said John Constantine. And Colbert interviewing him, and he's like, "Well, like, so you're Keanu. Certainly, you've got the clout to get it done." And he's like, "No, I've tried." Like, people were not having it. Apparently,
they were not having it.
But who knows when? Because it might have been right after. He's like, "Let's do it again."
No, but this is now they're expanding. John Constantine is an awesome fucking character. I've seen a few animated DC movies with Constantine, and he's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he's like their Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
and he is. He's fucking wicked.
This was such a cool opening. It's such a different feel for any of the Marvel movies and stuff like that.
What do they have to move again? What's happening here?
Yeah, they're moving again.
Well, I gotta move again.
What a life to live.
Pick the bullets up, baby. Pick the bullets up.
Yeah. So something that's really interesting. So Alexei here, played by David Harbour, in the comics, he's not the father figure of Black Widow. They're married.
Who's married?
Alexei and Black Widow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Red Guardian.
Yeah, it's the Red Guardian.
They changed it and made him the...
Yeah, it made him more of a father figure. I think just the timeline is such that because she was so young at like the beginning of her MCU time,
right?
That it's hard to give her like a husband in there too. Like,
I dig what they did with it because then it gets Yelena in there, and
yeah. Well, also it really kind of nails down this whole theme of family that they're working on in this movie too, right?
I can't believe that's Mila Jovovich's daughter.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so hilarious.
I had the same thing today when I was looking people up. I saw Ever Anderson. I'm like, she looks so familiar. She's in something. And then the first thing that came up is she was in this and like Resident Evil. And then it was like, oh, it's because she's the daughter.
Yeah,
like,
look at that old tape player.
I love a good old tape player.
Oh, on the run constantly. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The other person who wrote the story, other than Jack Schaefer, was Ned Benson. His only real other thing was the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. He wrote and directed that, but that's that one. If you haven't seen it, it's actually a movie that's told from like a bunch of different perspectives. So there's the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, her, the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, him, and the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, them. And it's like the whole movie is like
different perspectives.
The whole movie is completely shot from different perspectives 3 times.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, and it's Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy in it.
Ooh, so weren't they just in It too? Together? Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I don't know. What a twist!
What a scoop!
Yeah, I was just going M. Night Shyamalan on him from his other stuff. But Eric Pearson ended up writing the script, the actual screenplay for the movie. He is a big-time Marvel writer. He wrote basically, all the Marvel one-shots, the little short films that they did? He wrote almost all of them. Yeah. He was also a script doctor on Ant-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Infinity War, and Endgame.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Basically, when like the script's already been written, but they need to do some rewrites, they got to bring somebody in to kind of like...
Yeah, it needs a little something. Yeah. It needs a little something.
It's like, we need a new scene here that connects these two things, or we need to punch up the dialogue on this, or so he comes in and fixes up the script and then heads out. So he did that on all those movies. He actually wrote the screenplay for Thor Ragnarok, and he wrote Godzilla vs. Kong.
No way.
So that's the guy who wrote this movie.
This guy's doing it right now, eh?
He's not nothing. He was also a script doctor on Detective Pikachu and what was the other one? Pacific Rim Rising.
Uprising.
Whatever that one was. Didn't matter as much in the...
And Scott Eastwood, whoo, he's not his old man, let me tell you that.
I know, every time,
Holy
too.
Fuck.
And it's so funny because there's so many like comparison to the old man things right now, with Wyatt Russell being in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
He was?
Yeah, he was Captain America.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Michael Douglas's son is in some stuff, and like, so you've got all these guys, and it's like they don't quite compare. Wyatt Russell was good, but like it's Kurt, like you're compared to Kurt Russell, but like Clint Eastwood he just has such a weird iconic thing about him.
Right.
But Scott Eastwood, he's just like, I'm just out here trying my best. And it's like, your dad, like, we didn't even really like your dad. He was just awesome.
Right.
Like, he wasn't a good actor. He was just Clint Eastwood. You're not anything.
Oh, yeah. That's a good little scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is only my second time seeing this one. I really enjoyed it in the theater, though. I thought it was fucking good. I talked to a lot of people who said they didn't really like it, though.
Yeah.
I've spoken to people, too, and I've been like, hey, did you check out WandaVision? Did you check out Hawkeye? And they were like, I'm not really into Hawkeye. I'm not really into Wanda. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, they're Avengers.
I know.
I'm like, what's the fucking, like, what?
I'll give you a really interesting Hawkeye stat that I read. The Avengers were undefeated. They were 7-0. They were 7-0 in battles where Hawkeye was present fighting with the Avengers. They were 0-4 in battles where Hawkeye was not present.
Oh, I did not know that little stat there.
One of those battles being against Hawkeye when he was
in Civil
hypnotized. No, when he was hypnotized by.
When he was bad in the first
Civil
one.
War doesn't count because it was a half and half. So obviously they're going to win and lose.
Okay, right, yeah.
So when he was hypnotized by Loki, they won that battle against the Avengers, and so the person brought that up to Jeremy Renner in an interview, and he's like, "Well, that's a fun little stat."
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that. That was really good, actually.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Do they always use the same font?
I don't know.
I feel like that was the same font as on Endgame.
Yeah, probably.
I know the thing that I don't get with anybody is how, like, you know, they might not be the most interesting characters. But how could you not be interested in the human characters amongst all these superpowered beings, space people, and then you have two human beings going not toe to toe, but still hanging with them? Yeah.
Well, they're in a situation that they theoretically should not be able to survive.
Right.
And
exactly.
Not only are they surviving, but they're crucial to the work that's being done. Jeremy Renner helps take out Loki essentially in the Avengers.
Right.
He hits him. Well, shoots the arrow at him. He catches it. It explodes, and that's where he ends up having his fight with the Hulk and all that.
I always love because you always think that Hawkeye's missed, and then boom, he didn't. It was a plan.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye and his trick arrows, baby.
He's got the disc.
Nice.
Look at the glasses. You know this guy's in the mob.
Oh, absolutely.
Russian 80s mob.
Either that or he just lives in Boca Raton. It's one of those two things for sure, though.
What else have we seen the little girl in?
I don't know. I didn't catch her stuff. I can look it up after though.
Young little Yelena.
If necessary.
Maybe this is what I'm thinking of her in, and I think I've seen her in something else, but really it was just this before.
So it's worth bringing up now while we've got a minute here, the controversy with the lawsuit about the between Scarlett Johansson and Disney over the royalties and the bonus and stuff like that. So essentially the lawsuit was, and the way it was presented at the time was because Disney streamed it on Disney Plus at the same time, that it affected the box office in a way that she was taking money away from her, bonus money away from her. So, okay, that's a very fair point. And like I said back then when we talked about it, they should have had some contingency in place, that would add the cost or the price that was brought in on Disney Plus, because they did charge on Disney Plus. It wasn't just like, oh, it's on it and you can stream it for free. So I was like, that I felt like that could have been taken care of, but they ended up settling it. Okay, whatever. But then I find out that here's the actual stipulation. Oh, big needles freak me out. I hate it so much. The actual stipulations were she was paid $25 million for the movie with the promise of an additional $6 million if the movie made more than $900 million, which this movie, based on a few things, based on just some people being sexist and not having any interest in watching a girl superhero movie, and based on, again, some people will just be like, oh, I'm not interested in the human, whatever. This movie was never going to make $900 million. No,
I know. I find it funny that would be the deal that she would make.
Right?
What?
And I'm wondering if that's just a standard thing. But then... so then on top of that, so if you add the money together, the movie made I think it was 379 million, I said, worldwide.
Still sounds good to me.
It's great money, and it's a very profitable movie. It's in no way a bomb, and it made an additional 60 million on Disney Plus. So again, you do the add up, and you're barely halfway to what that number would have been. So I mean, I feel like had Disney fought it, they could have easily proven that she was not robbed of anything. But then I feel like that puts them in a really shitty scenario where they might want her back.
Well, she's already producing something for them.
Yeah, no, but
something.
But that's my thing is they could have ended that really messily, right? This song is so goddamn good, and this scene is so goddamn horrifying.
Why did Ray Winston is so fucking good in this movie?
Oh, he's so good.
I don't think that he got near the credit that he deserved, or anybody for this movie.
No.
But this movie suffered from being released at that
it was at a crucial
time when the movies were nobody is...
Yeah. Well, this was when they first thought of the idea to start putting things out on... because I saw some
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah,
Like, way to put me in the old crate with the other kids and send me off to fucking, like...
Yeah. Oh, it's horrifying. Because this also has a real, like, human trafficking vibe to it, which really, like, it really gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Exactly.
And I was sitting here watching this movie. The first time I saw it, I was sitting next to my daughter, right? And it was like,
Isn't it fucked up that that's, like, a real thing?
Absolutely.
Isn't that completely, like, beyond belief that this is a real thing that happens?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is obviously the brainwashed spy version, not the sexual slave version. But like,
right.
It's just like this...
Oh, you can't tell me that, like, nothing awful happened to them other than being trained to be...
Oh, certainly.
Come on, right? Like, Jesus Christ.
But this is also another movie I would watch, would be a movie called The Red Room, or like a TV show called The Red Room, which was just about what was going on here. But like, doesn't this like look like the beginning
Diaries.
doesn't this look like the beginning of a horror movie?
Yes.
Like, this reminds me of like the beginning or end of the first or of the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Or something, you know, like, it's going to be a movie where something crazy, you know, like happens at this facility. You know, like they're you know, brainwashing, and then they start murdering each other or whatever the fuck, right? Like,
and I think it's really worth mentioning too that Scarlett Johansson, during the run of like Avengers movies and stuff like that, she's only given so much to work with. Because again, all the other people are bigger, like the other characters are just bigger characters, and like in the terms of the comics and all that, and so they get more attention. But when they gave her something to work with, she fucking knocked it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
She did so beautifully in this, and just continued it on in this. I think that a lot of people's concern may have very well been, oh, like she's barely in the other ones compared to everybody else, and is like now all of a sudden she's going to get her own whole movie. Like, what are you going to do with that? And then you forget she has hundreds of comics just about her.
Like, exactly.
Like she's one of the main characters.
That's what makes it impressive, is these people are, you know, like Rocket's like, who's been to space?
Yeah.
You know, and there's like, or who hasn't been to space? And they're like, boom, and it's like, holy fuck, like,
oh man.
Or in the scene in Spider-Man where he's like, oh, then we went to space, and we did this, and then Buddy's like, all I thought was a guy in a rhino suit.
Oh god, he's so funny. So funny. And this was actually a huge surprise right off the bat. I did not know William Hurt was in this movie the first time. Like, it was nice. And I actually even said aloud, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy to have a surprise.
What's his name? Colonel... He's a Hulk's bad guy.
William Hurt. Colonel William
Hurt? Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
No, he's General Ross.
Jesus. General Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross, baby.
I wonder if they're going to give him his Red Hulk storyline eventually.
I was very curious about that. I think the only thing stopping that, to be honest with you, is the fact that they can't legally put Hulk in a solo movie.
Right. That's so fucked.
I know. Again, Universal needs to do the exact same goddamn thing that Sony did.
Yes.
Cut a deal and make some money, because you're not making any money off of...
you're doing nothing. All you're doing is being, you know, like in wrestling where Vince is like, I don't want you wrestling anywhere. I'm not going to use you.
Yeah.
But I don't want anybody else. So I'm going to pay you some money. You just sit on the bench.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I didn't know that. So Universal owns Hulk.
Yes, Universal. So like the ones that were made by
Ang Lee,
and then the other one that starred Edward Norton. Were both Universal movies, but they were given enough of each other, because like there is tie-in to the MCU in the Edward Norton one, because obviously Ross was in that and has been in all these ones since. Ooh. But also RDJ is in the post-credit scene of the Incredible Hulk. So it's like they were obviously planning to do something, but it's like it just kind of like stopped dead.
It's a bummer that they gave up on the solo Hulk movies. Look at this sweet scenery. Look at this sweet little boat. Yeah. Not, you know, similar to... she just did... she's got rid of something there.
I think she just roofied that lake.
I think so.
The Loch Ness Monster is going to be fucked up.
Oh, yeah, those poor kids.
Oh, man. So this movie went through a lot in terms of like delays and stuff like that. So we had... it was originally supposed to come out in May.
Look at this one. Yeah. Did she bring the mattress with her, or did the mattress happen to be there?
I don't know. This looks like a place where mattresses are just
I agree. Around. It's like in Dying Light when the wife is living on the roof. Okay,
loose mattresses. So it was originally supposed to come out May 1st, 2020. It was supposed to be the first movie of the Marvel Phase 4. They got delayed because of COVID, obviously. Like, that was kind of like the height of the beginning of COVID. So it got delayed till November 6th, 2020. Then it got delayed again till May 7th, 2021. Then delayed again till July 9th, 2021. So, like, it went through, like, a ton of delays to the point where WandaVision had to become the new opening of the MCU. And this was also supposed to be the first appearance of Julia Louis-Dreyfus in a Marvel product, but she ends up making her debut in Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it had to come out first.
Oh, wow.
So here's
she just stabbed her and like twisted the knife. I'm like, whoa.
Well, that's how you make sure that it doesn't heal. This is Florence Pugh, obviously, as Yelena.
I like her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's good.
She made her big break in Fighting with My Family, the
Rock
WWE Rock produced Stephen Merchant directed movie. She was in Little Women, for which she was nominated for an Oscar against Scarlett Johansson.
No way.
Yeah, they were both up for Best Supporting Actress. I was just at
somebody's house yesterday, and they had paused Little Women that had her in it.
Yeah. Was it like a scene that they were like turned on by? They're like, oh, this is right.
I gotta pause that. Yeah, it was like the shower scene.
Yeah, there you go.
They're all in there.
Obviously, for people who don't know, spoiler alert, but she is in Hawkeye and plays a pretty major role towards the end. Oh,
what is happening here?
I don't know, she just stabbed herself with some shit.
She just pulled out her tracker. Yes. Like, no problem, eh?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
She got sprayed in the face with some red biz.
I mean, it's a little bit of problem.
Something's happening to her because of that red shit that was just sprayed in her face.
Yes. And I believe that's the cure for the like brainwash.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's that. But she's in that stuff. She's got a bunch of stuff coming up. She's in Olivia Wilde's "Don't Worry, Darling," which is a bunch of it's like an all-star cast. Got a lot of people in it,
right?
So Olivia Wilde is she's in it, but she's also directing it.
Oh yeah, and she's directing obviously her new husband, Harry Styles.
Yeah, and speaking of which, too, she is directing a Marvel movie coming up. I just don't remember what it was.
When did she get into the directing?
I don't know, but she directed a few things now.
Oh,
then Florence Pugh also going to be in Zach Braff's A Good Person with Morgan Freeman, and then she will be in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer with Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Cillian Murphy, and Emily Blunt.
Of course, Cillian Murphy's in there.
Of course he is.
If it's a fucking buddy movie there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so funny, too, because it's like, you know how much he likes him because he's like, well, we wanted him for Batman. I'm like, you shouldn't have wanted him for Batman, but...
Right.
I was like, I think he was great. I think he was great as Scarecrow. That was a great role for him. Kind of smug, kind of smart.
Right.
Like, I was like, you did just fine putting him in there without putting him right here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was just fine.
They were just catching on the news. It was just saying that she's on the run, and so is Captain America.
Yes. So this timeline-wise takes place right after the, or at least this portion of it takes place right after the events of Captain America: Civil War. So that's why. What's happening is what's happening.
I love too in like Endgame where they're like, Tony Stark is like, well, there is no Avengers. It's like, yes, they are together, just not with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they've been to Wakanda, they've been talking to Black Panther.
Yeah,
Buddy's there, Bucky.
Yeah.
Then you've got like all the guys hanging out with Captain America.
Yeah.
When they show up, it was just Captain America and Rhodey.
Yes.
Was it Rhodey? Right? Is that name Rhodey?
Yeah, Rhodey.
Machine.
Yes.
Iron Man machine.
Iron Giant.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's the guy. Yeah.
War Machine.
Well, Iron Chef.
Oh my God! Why wasn't there Iron?
Fuck yeah!
Would that not have been hilarious if just if one scene like Tony was just like, oh, do you want something? I've got something cooking in the back, and one of the Iron Man things was just cooking.
Iron
He's like,
Chef.
this is my Iron Chef.
Totally.
I think that would have been wonderful. Actually, we got to talk about some iron too, because there's an iron related thing in this movie that we got to talk about as well. This is just an unnecessarily sexy, like, backup guy that she has.
Yeah, who is this guy?
I don't know, just a handsome dude who lives out in a trailer.
He's renting the trailer to her.
He's the guy that she goes to get all the things she needs, like the the extra passports, the whatever.
Oh, I think you meant like to have her bell rung.
He's like,
She goes to him to get some bullets.
yeah,
in
he's like
there.
her underground Q.
Right.
Like Shield would be her regular Q, but when she can't rely on that, she's got to come. to this
Thank God when she ran away to that trailer park, the guy next door was a explosives ammunition expert who could hook her up with.
Statistically, that was going to be the case, though.
Yes.
That was,
They always are.
yeah. Budapest.
Are they speaking Russian?
They're even arguing over the. It's Budapest, and he keeps saying Budapest, not Budapest.
Uh-oh. He resold the flat.
I do like little things like that when like it's something that always kills me in books because it just feels like wasted dialogue, but in a movie I let it go. Like any like small talk in a movie just humanizes them. But in a book, if they had like 8 lines of the book with them arguing over how to pronounce Budapest, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid book?
What?
Like,
Stupid words.
well, no, I literally had
Which would be the same thing if you were to read like the script for this. It would be written right.
No, I know, but it's just like a good example. Oh, so here they're watching Moonraker. There are a lot of ties to Bond in this movie. For example, Rachel Weisz is married to a Bond. She's married to Daniel Craig.
Is. Yes, she is. To a Bond.
Olga Kurylenko.
To Roger Moore. She's married
Yes.
to Roger Moore, yeah.
Olga Kurylenko was a Bond girl in Quantum of Solace. David Harbour was in Quantum of Solace.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, that's a good... something's going on here.
And then if we just go deeper into Marvel, Jeffrey Wright is the voice of the Watcher in What If, but is Felix Leiter, and there's a lot
Look
of
at
that
this.
going on.
It's Norway, right? Is that what it said?
I believe so.
What a fucking place, man.
God, it's so beautiful. I would love to go there.
They have great everything.
Yeah, just a little
Everything.
quality.
Their
of life.
healthcare, exactly everything. Their agriculture is like completely sustainable with like no way. Oh, fuck. Oh, checking out the scenery.
Yeah, never ever do that.
Taskmaster is a super cool bad guy. Mm-hmm. I didn't give a shit about the reveal at the end either. I was like, I don't give a fuck. It could be anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Fire, right? Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah, this one felt kind of unnecessary to me. I feel like
agreed, though.
Yes.
I agree with you.
What?
But I agree with you that it was unnecessary.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
You're talking about the reveal, right?
Oh,
like
no, I didn't. I was saying like this was unnecessary. I'm thinking like it was like to have the character be who they were, which is like what is the name again? I know it's Taskmaster, but it had a name like Ray Master or something,
whatever,
like, something silly like that. But it was like that could just be somebody that he hired. Like it's okay to just have somebody that he hired. It doesn't always have to be the daughter or the
yes,
like, or the
it doesn't have to be a twist every time they take the damn mask off.
Yeah. Or if it was going to be a twist, it needed to be something huge. Like that needed to be Clint in there or something. That. Like it was.
See, he's got like I only remember this character from the Spider-Man video game on PS4.
Yeah.
And he would, Taskmaster.
Yes.
He would use the offense and stuff of the people you already know.
Yes.
So like he's studied Captain America, and you saw in the video that they just showed where she was coming in, he was watching Hawkeye.
Yes.
Fight. So he's got like a shield like Captain America.
Yeah.
He's like all the Avengers kind of rolled into one.
Yeah. He's whatever he needs to be.
Right.
He's good.
But even obviously he's not gonna have the strength of the Hulk or anything, but the fighting ability, the techniques, he's.
Yeah, he's not studying the Hulk.
Yeah, what are you gonna study?
Yeah, imagine he tries to pick up the car.
Not happening. Yeah,
but I like this scene too because it gives you kind of a lot of like the mirroring of the. The mirroring the movements and stuff like that.
The briefcase. She needs the chip. The disc, the floppy.
Yeah. Well, and this was another one of like the big gender swaps. They were talking about all the Marvel gender swaps that have happened and stuff like that with the Ancient and Ghost, and I think it's good. Like I have no issue with a gender swap, from like especially for characters that I don't like particularly know very
or
well
whatever. Yeah,
but like it's just it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if they just wanted it to be like a woman fighting
versus
a woman,
which is fine.
But
I don't agree with what just happened there. where it was like there's not a person under the mask, where it was like this is not your prime directive. Yeah, but I'm fighting this person over the briefcase.
Yeah.
So why would I just turn my back on them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry, I am not after you. I am after the briefcase.
But there is a brainwash aspect to it as well. Like,
Right,
it's
yes.
not like they. So
you know what I thought about that you had said,
I say,
you know, before, you know, and you were like, get the fuck away from my family. It's 4 a.m. How did you get in the window? I'm like,
Yes.
you know, I've been thinking about that a lot. No, I've been thinking about when you said, which is totally the truth.
Yeah.
In every one of these movies, they fight someone like them.
Yes.
Like it's wizard versus wizard in you know, a thing. It's Hulk versus another. And then it's like super soldier versus super soldier.
And
wizard versus like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, I never really.
And sometimes it makes more sense than others. Like for like wizard versus wizard. Well, it makes sense because they're like in. It was
That's who
really
you'd be
them.
battling.
It was them together.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. One of them goes bad, and so that makes total sense.
Oh.
But then it's like, you know, like when Iron Man went against Ironmonger.
Right.
I was like, that didn't necessarily have to be the bad guy. Like he didn't also have to be a machine. But like it was even with like Spider-Man, like it has tons of bad guys who are not spider-like.
Right.
But then also has Venom and Carnage who are
Right.
spider-like. And, like, so, but yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and I get it. Like, you know, it makes sense because there's stakes to knowing that you are facing an equal.
Yes.
But like, because sometimes the unknown, you're like, this person's gonna beat that person.
But
it's Wolverine. He's gonna kill
but
this
it's
guy, no
also
problem.
always like it's the origin story.
Yeah.
So you're fighting somebody that's like you.
Yeah.
Because that's where it began. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, he's fighting Mordor. They were buds.
Yeah.
Then they turn, and then it's
Well, and it would make sense too, like even like if what they did in Iron Man, like it almost would have made more sense that if the first bad guy in Iron Man would have been the bad guy from Iron Man 2, who was already
Whiplash.
working.
He
No,
could've been so
not even
cool.
Whiplash. I was talking about Sam, what's his face, who like he developed the other robots. Because he was already working. He was already
the big Lebowski, the dude.
Yeah. No, not because he was the bad guy in the first one.
That's right.
Jeff Bridges. I'm talking about from the second one. Who was?
It was Whiplash.
No, he was one of the bad guys. He wasn't the only one. The other billionaire. Why can't I
The
not?
guy who pretended he was Mandarin?
No. That was part
That's 3. I don't remember a second. I did not like 2 so much that I'm like, oh, I just.
There was parts of 2 that I liked, but not enough.
Oh, look at this. Sister versus sister.
Yeah, this was cool.
Oh, I love 2 in Hawkeye, where she's like running and Kate Bishop is following her, and they're kind of fighting.
Yes.
But they don't really want to because they know they're not really.
Yeah.
And then they get to the window and she's like, oh man. She's like, did you plan to do that? She's like, no.
Yeah.
She's like, you did. That was cool. She's like, oh, you did this thing where you flipped me. She's like, you flipped me on your back. She was like, that was cool. She was like, that was pretty cool. Like,
I like that. It's like, stop
you
making
hit
me
really hard.
Yeah,
like,
stop making me like you. Sorry,
like-
it was Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
There we
Yes, there you go.
I had said
Ooh.
Sam Worthington in our previous episode, and that's all that kept coming back to my mind.
I
And I'm
forgot
like,
he
it's
was
fine.
in there. I'm surprised they.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have died.
But he would
Surprised
have
they
been.
brought him back.
But that would have been a good bad guy because if it's like, so imagine Robert Downey Jr. is going through what he's going through, and in the meantime, this guy's developing weapons, and now he's in a place where he's trying to take down the weapons, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna do like so. Like then you'd have like that thing going on, and then find out that he's the guy who got. Tony Stark kidnapped,
right?
So he could sell his thing. Like I feel like that would have been a more
like as
natural,
and there was more to it than Tony just accidentally being there, you know, for whatever.
Yeah,
like it was it seemed like the terrorist group that had taken him were just kind of like, whoa, like let's steal this guy. He's from America, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and they do say too that like they do make the point that Jeff Bridges is the guy who arranged that. But like I feel like it just would have worked better the other way because like he wasn't trying to make that. He became essentially a bad guy so he could take over Tony's company, and that was like it. It was just like a hostile takeover of the company instead of becoming like the next new big thing. You know, I don't know.
Did they really think that they were going to get somewhere other than right here?
Yeah.
Like if me and you This is like the miscast commentary of the movie where we're both Mr. and Mrs. Smithing, where we're actually both, whatever.
Yeah, but you could beat the shit out of me.
No. You think this.
Okay.
Until we start fighting.
I'll cheat, don't get me
Until
wrong.
we start fighting, and then it's like, wow, you got mad skills.
Yeah.
And then, but it wouldn't even get to that. If we entered the same room, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm like, we're supposed to kill each other right now, but let's go have a drink. Like, let's go eat we'll just fucking say we didn't even run into each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of course, they're sisters. Do you think they're actually one of them is going to kill the other?
We'll just remember all of our wrestling matches of back in the day and go, I don't want to deal with that shit. My back hurts.
I don't want to even do that to you anymore because that'll hurt my back.
I know, right? See, that was the big thing with me and Todd fighting each other in wrestling because he was so much bigger and so much stronger than me. I had to fight meaner. Like if I did like an ankle lock, I had to give her because
you were good
it
at the
was
hold, so you really had
because it's all I could
moves.
do.
I remember the one time coming at you and you got my arm and I was just like, holy shit. I was like, that's it. I was like, that's it.
Like I did know things, but it was just like, it was like, it was things that I didn't want to do. But it was like, it's the only thing. It's the only way.
Gas pedal.
Oh, God.
Gas pedal.
Mantis was my only strike.
The mantis.
I'd go like this. I go mantis. And then I'd take these and I'll jam them between the ribs or something.
The mantis.
It really destroyed lives. It was very good.
Yeah, my ribs hurt right now just like hearing the man. Oh, my God. I forgot about the mantis.
It's back.
Blood. Oh, shit.
So actually, the front runner for the role of Yelena was originally Emma Watson from Harry Potter. Saoirse Ronan was also in the running for that.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I only found it out very recently.
Fuck?
His Saors.
There you go. That's
Saors.
Saorzy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous Irish shit.
Shasha? What did you say?
Saoirse.
Saoirse
Ronan.
Saoirse. That's kind of cool.
But so basically, though, Florence Pugh actually won the role based on her performance in Fighting with My Family.
I should watch that movie.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm thinking Stephen Merchant directed it. It's like the rock star. I think what a weird.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would Stephen Merchant direct the movie about the rocks? Like,
I don't. Well, it's not even about
the rock. Sorry, like Paige. It's about Paige. It's the rest of Paige. Yeah.
I don't know. He was just like he's doing stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So far, lots of action.
There was a lot. There has been a lot.
There's been a lot of
Yeah. So I guess they had been trying to make of like a Black Widow movie for a long time. Basically, her entire run in the MCU, they've been trying to do it, but Marvel, to its credit, wanted to do it, but also to its detriment, was fully aware that people were not ready to embrace a female-led superhero movie.
You do it anyways. Yeah, good. You force it. You that force was the moment,
and that's what essentially happened. That's why it got beat out by Wonder Woman for doing that, because they waited and waited and waited, and then Wonder Woman finally did
a solo movie.
Yes,
big time.
Oh, absolutely, she earned a solo movie, but so that was its thing. But actually, once upon a time in the early 2000s, it was a property, Black Widow was property of Lionsgate before she did Iron Man 2.
Right.
So actually, what's the guy's name? David Hayter, who actually wrote, this is very funny for you, he wrote the X-Men movies.
Oh my God.
And he wrote the X-Men movies and he wrote The Watchmen. And he wrote a script for Black Widow in 2004 for Lionsgate that obviously just never got done. Look
at it's all chicks fighting, bud. Yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah, but if they're not slapping or pulling hair, I don't understand any of this. That's fine. Yeah, this is can we really give it up though? This is a level of vision where you really got to give Kevin Feige. It's unacceptable that she landed on her feet there, but I'll let it slide.
She's Black Widow.
I know, but she literally smashed her face on a dumpster on the way down.
She smashed her face in a bunch of shit.
That's true. Okay, I can't argue with that.
I believe that the Natasha and Hawkeye, they are human, but I give them there's a little bit more going on.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more. They're not super soldiers, but they can take that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's fine. I think there's a will that just also comes with
Of course. She's going to be a little bit more beaten up.
Yeah.
Or like when what's her name, Yelena's like smashing Hawkeye with like a crowbar essentially in his face next to the fallen down Christmas tree, which is a cool moment.
Yes.
And I'm like, he has got to be toast. And then he gets up and he does the whistle that they did. She's like, how do you know, Martha? How do you know, Martha? And I was like, but I don't care. Good moment. Cool moment. But then when he gets up, I was like, he should have been a fucking bloody pulp. Like,
Yes.
like, holy, well, this is why I say there's a little bit more going on.
Yeah. Nah,
Super shit rubs off onto them.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, and Hulk literally was probably rubbing off on her at certain points. So they had a thing. Scarlett Johansson apparently asked Colin Jost, her husband, to like run lines with her and stuff when she was still learning the script.
The dude from SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he refused because he didn't want the movie to be spoiled.
Good man.
He was just like, no. He's like, I don't want to ruin anything.
Sorry, babe. You're a professional. How much money did you make for this movie? You go do it then.
Go learn
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, babe. Oh shit.
Yikes. That's an awesome tank. Like this gave me I said at the time, and we were talking about it, that this gave me real like Bond movie vibes. Yes. And
see, this movie's got really good action scenes.
It really does.
That's my number one, man. I was like, this movie fucking
And this is what I was saying before she smashed her face off a dumpster. Is this is the credit you got to give to people like Kevin Feige and the other producers surrounding these movies, because they have to have a vision, no pun intended, to see in a director their ability to do something like this when they've never even come close to doing something like this. Like I would say like the combined movies or the combined budget of all the movies that Kate Shortland did probably didn't even equal like this, like Scarlett Johansson's salary in this movie.
Right.
And then like, so to go from that and say, hey, can you handle these gigantic like set piece action scenes and all this kind of stuff and like wrap your head around these huge location shoots?
Yeah, that's like what I was saying before. Yeah. I'm sure they work with Marvel's stunt team and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But totally, like they're always watching, which is so crazy. They must have like a talent scout that's like, hey, this guy from way the fuck over made 2 independent movies. I really think he'd be good to do this. And you're like, how the fuck do you even know? Like,
exactly. And to their credit, too, something else. And this is why I think I have a little conspiracy theory about the whole lawsuit thing. I have a feeling that it was like kind of like insurance based on the fact that like she just wasn't able to make any more movies because everything was shut down, and that's why these lawsuits were happening at this point, because like there was nothing, like their relationship and like their collaborative nature in this was so good, according to at least what my research says, that like I can't even like picture a world where she's trying to sue them.
Right.
Like literally this movie, she had a hand in getting to pick the director. She's the executive producer of the movie. The movie was written because like the way the movie was written was constant conversations with her about her character. So she had a hand in writing the movie. Like, or at least like
a part of,
or at least like developing the character and like all that kind of stuff. Right. And it's just like it's just unprecedented. They weren't talking to friggin' Chris Evans about Captain America.
That was awesome.
That was really cool, actually. Yes.
Yeah, they just tell you this is what you do.
Yeah, they just.
You know what? I'm gonna say something right now. I don't know what the deal is between the two things.
Yeah,
but I feel like you're very much siding with Disney.
Well, I
don't know the deal.
I'll tell you.
I don't even care.
I'll tell you. I wasn't until I saw the actual deal today when I was doing the research, and I was like, she was never going to.
Fuck that movie gonna make $900 million.
I was like, it was never going to make $900 million. It seems unfair that that's the benchmark that they set for it, and then. In a pandemic world, it was never gonna. It was that much further not going to make $1 billion.
This Taskmaster was so confident he just took the escalator all the way down.
Yeah,
he didn't even slide. I would have grabbed his shield and fucked off with it.
This looks like if you just took when sometimes you like cross over your toys because you've just got like, I've got a bunch of G.I. Joes and I got a bunch of He-Men and they're going to fight, whatever. This looks like they took a G.I. Joe to fight against Marvel characters.
Right.
Like he looks like a Cobra Commander variant or something like that. And I keep saying he, it is a girl. But
well, no, they're calling him he as well.
That's
for
true. Yes, because they're sexist.
Yeah.
But, that's...
I also feel like he wouldn't be as dumb as to fall for this move. Like, he's the taskmaster.
Yes. Well, but he's just doing his task.
Or this would just be a ruse. Like, he thinks, and then he's going to be, boom, he's going to pop out right next to them in the thing there, you know.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the things they're pointing out right now. They're in Budapest, and this is where she and Clint hid for 2 days as part of... You remember in Avengers where they're like, it's just like Budapest, and he's like, you and I remember Budapest very differently. This is a part of Budapest where they were like, they basically, the two of them had to take on an army. It was her first mission that got her into S.H.I.E.L.D. And like, it was the two of them taking on literally everybody. And then
you think they would have sent the superhuman with them or something, right?
Well, their superhumans weren't really a part of it yet.
Right.
Like, this was before even Iron Man.
So it's her and Clint.
Yeah, it was just her and Clint, just as S.H.I.E.L.D. like operatives. And she said they hid out in there for a couple of days.
In that very vent.
Yeah.
She's like, here's his mask. We didn't wear a mask.
So this is part of the Budapest thing too, right here, is actually him killing her daughter.
Who?
Well, so that was Ray Winstone and his daughter. Ray Winstone. Am I pronouncing it wrong?
I don't have a fucking clue.
Okay. Winnie
Who am I
Ray.
to tell you?
I don't know. But I'm allowed to be wrong. It's happened.
We both can't be wrong.
Yeah, statistically, it's got to be one of them. So then you find out it's like Weinstein. And I'm like, what? He's like, he's like, I don't pronounce it that way anymore for obvious reasons, but so anyways, part of her mission in Budapest was to assassinate Ray Winstone, and he and his daughter was there. So like, that was a part of her, like, read in her ledger as she killed like a little girl because she had to make a call.
Sometimes you got to make the call, bud.
I do like that. I doubt the god from space has to take an ibuprofen after a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's worth noting, right? Like, and I think Hawkeye did that really well after he had that big fight and he had like the bags of peas all over him and shit like that.
He's just like, oh, thank God. He's like, finally I can sit down and like rest my friggin' wounds.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that's me after just like driving home from work. I'm just like, oh God, that was rough on the old bod.
And it took how many years for Hawkeye to wear the suit?
I know, eh?
I was like, yeah, he did look good in that suit. I was like, fucking A.
But he did look very good in the suit, but I also liked his arguments. He's like, my job's kind of
to be low pro.
Play, this was great. This was written into the movie because she was making fun of Scarlett Johansson, like, behind the scenes about her landings and stuff like that. She just happened to be like teasing her. So then the writer wrote in the scene. She's a legit funny person though. If you see any like Florence Pugh stuff like on TikTok or anywhere else, she's just legitimately a very funny person.
Where is she? Is she from the States?
No, she's British.
That's why she can do the accent so well.
Yeah. You don't believe any American doing an American accent, but you definitely believe.
Yep. I would believe a British person doing an American accent more than an American person doing their own silly accent.
Yes, or a Russian accent or anything else. I don't know. I think that's like maybe what's happening, because you know how we always kind of like get on, like, you do a movie about Rome and everybody's got a British accent and all that. Yeah. Maybe that's why it's like we're every voice. We're the chicken of accents. we taste like everything.
The chicken, like that. Just the bland white meat of accents.
Yep.
She just wasted a lot of good booze in that wound right there, bud.
Australians would then be the pork, because it's also a white meat and also deals with a lot of accents.
Good, they can be the pork. I fucking hate pork.
Yeah.
But, well, bacon, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Bacon's something else, though.
I know.
Bacon is like if a pig went to the stars and then returned.
I know. Like, oh, you poor tasty bastard.
My daughter kept saying, and she was not being serious, obviously, like she's not like scared of the eating the animals thing, but she saw at the Costco, the big like restaurant Costco, they had a full pig there, and she's like, we have to save it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, honey,
being saved
I'm
now.
like, I think it's too late now. And then I bought the big thing of bacon, and she's like, we have to save him. I'm like, honey, he's sliced into 100 pieces. And she was like, but we have to. And then she was sitting there and she's like, I made bacon like the next day and she was eating it going, I'm so sorry. But like
Homer
not,
when he was eating, what's his name?
Yeah, but not actually
But she's
sad. She was
joking,
just,
yeah.
but it was like, it made me so proud
It
of her
does kind
sense
of
of
make me
humor.
sad, actually, though. They're so sentient. They're so
know.
smart. And I'm just
I
like,
know.
oh my God, you poor thing.
Well, if they were really smart, they would have avoided it somehow. they would have
you
told
would have
you.
grown a thumb.
Yeah. They would have told you that curing bacon or curing goat meat would have worked just as well.
Have you ever had goat?
Yeah, I've had goat.
How is it?
That's whatever.
Chicken?
No, not
It was
quite
in like
chicken.
curry. It's like goat
It has
curry
that-
or jerk goat.
It has that, like, for just lack of a better term, it's that like gaminess
Right.
of anything
Yeah.
that's not normal.
Right.
Anything that you're not used to.
It's totally true. The gaminess of
Yeah.
anything that you don't know. Yeah.
I've got venison in my freezer right now, actually, too.
Did you finish all that big old cow you guys bought? You still
No,
got it?
not yet. I got a bunch of roasts left.
That is fucking awesome.
But
What a sweet gig. You just go
yeah.
right to the thing.
Yeah,
You
it's
get it
pretty
cheaper if you take an axe to it yourself.
oh, if only.
Oh, die!
I birth the cow, I pull him out, I raise him like Billy Crystal in City Slickers, and then I anally electrocute him.
While looking into his eyes.
Yeah. But I save $11.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Which is funny because that's how I celebrated my 40th birthday, was having an electric probe shoved up my ass. Felt good though. Made me feel things I haven't felt since I was 30. I won't
These poor widows, what a life they're forced into.
I know. It's, well, like when she explains it, that's something that's like one of the highlights of Age of Ultron, actually, is her kind of explaining like the horrors that she had to go through and then kind of getting to see a little bit of it when Scarlet Witch does her brain thing to her and stuff like that. And I was like, man, like that's a story. And I was like, they should make a movie out of that. And then eventually they did.
They listen to you. I like these big European beers.
I was just
We're
gonna
not
say-
fucking around.
I was like, their combination wine bottle and stubby.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah. Red room. I
I want to go to all
there.
them. I'm a pirate. Oh no, I'm a surfer.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to go to these places so bad. It's so expensive.
Oh, I know.
Traveling is so fucking like, I'm going to go somewhere and just break the bank. Like it's done.
Well, that's my favorite thing. Like when you see people who travel to Europe and they're like, I'm going to travel around Europe. It's like getting there is expensive. And then getting around while you're there is cheap as dirt. And you're thinking, oh, okay, you're probably just taking the train around. They're like, no, trains are expensive as hell. Just fly. And it's like, really? And they're like, yeah, it's like $40 to fly from like France to Germany.
Yeah, my one
like,
buddy got there and spent like a month.
Yeah.
He did like a whole thing where he spent like a month alone. He said some of the nights, man, he slept on like a bench.
Yeah.
Because he didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that sounds freaky, but he said he made it work and he had a great time.
Hostel takes place in that continent, so I'm not doing that. Hostel and Taken both take place there. I was maybe the worst person in the world because a girl that I work with who's in her early 20s was going on a trip around Europe by herself. And the first thing I said to her is like, you need to watch Hostel and Taken before you go anywhere. And then she didn't even know what those were. And then I explained to her that best case scenario, she was going to be murdered. Worst case scenario, she was going to be sold as a sex slave.
Oh, like she couldn't have been Liam Neeson. She couldn't have been the one that...
She does not have a certain set of skills.
No, she does. I have been...
Not that set of skills.
I have been putting it off
for
far too long, which is the watching of the Ice Road,
Jesus
starring
Christ.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I just saw like one scene, when you flick through and you're like, hey, let me see what this is. And you put the cursor and then it kind of gives you like I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is a must watch. It was like the first one was like the ice is like, whoa, 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 and they're like, we gotta go faster. And then it, later on in the movie, there's like an ice gang that's like, you're never getting this to the other side if I have anything to say about them. Like, this movie looks fucking amazing.
Ice boys, and then the other gang was the fire boys who melt the ice.
And you know that this movie was made because those fucking Ice Road Trucker the shows are so popular.
Yeah.
Which I still don't understand why every show is exactly the same fucking thing.
This job is really dangerous. Watch them do it.
Yes, and it's like, oh my God.
And then they're about to die. No, they didn't die.
Yeah.
Oh, they're about to die.
Just before the commercial break, you'll see them in the truck being like, oh my God.
And then
it
between
comes back and they're just like, oh, that's my jam.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
you're like,
and like all of them, between seasons, one of them dies, and you're like, oh, did they die doing their job? No, they slipped in. Like, literally, the storm chaser guy slipped in the shower. One of them died of cancer. Like, one of the crab fishermen died of cancer, or whatever they're fishing for in the Deadliest Catch. And then the guy from Ice Road Truckers died in a plane crash. Like, they never died doing their super dangerous job. This version of David Harbour is the best version of David Harbour.
I think this is the real David Harbour.
He grew this beard specifically for Stranger Things, and I guess he gained weight all the way up to he was up to like 280 or something, but then for the flashback scenes he had to lose 60 pounds. So he would like look like in shape version of himself.
So this is him. He's all obsessed with this fight he had with Captain America at some point, right?
Yeah. So now the question becomes, because just from a timeline standpoint, they could never have crossed paths, right? Just because like he was in the ice during basically his whole life, and then came out like or it's a story that they just never told, you know? So here's a guy they're going to call him.
No.
What?
It's the other timeline.
See, that was the next thing I was going to talk about, but I just got interrupted by this guy showing up. So this guy, he calls him Bear a couple times or something like that. It would be Ursa Major, who's another Russian superhero or supervillain, who's a guy who can turn into a bear.
What's Red Guardian? I never looked him up because he's very strong. He's kind of like the Russian Captain America.
Yes, he's a super soldier who is like from Russia.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but he's basically in every way the opposite of Captain America. Like, he wants war. He wants to punt. Like he's not gonna he's not gonna like just fight. You know, when he has to, he's gonna like just kick everybody's ass and like, doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so basically, in the timeline that we know, it just doesn't line up that he could have met him. So then people are now theorizing, just like Todd said, that it's the timeline when he went back with Peggy, and that they could have maybe crossed paths.
Maybe he's just telling stories out of school.
Yeah, and it's also very likely that he just because he was the other version of Captain America, that it would be in his best interest to like propagandize himself to be the superior.
So since that plane scene or whatever afterwards, actually, he's been in prison the whole fucking time.
Yes.
So he didn't actually sell them into the thing.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't really have a choice.
Exactly. There's people above him, and they put the girls there, and they put him to prison. He
was essentially just following orders, and they took him, and there was nothing. Like, he was just he didn't stop.
May the Schwartz be with you.
God, that's funny. So somebody at some point in this calls him the Crimson Dynamo, who was another Russian supervillain in the Marvel universe, who is actually Whiplash's father from
Daredevil.
Because that's what.
Oh, not Whiplash. Not Daredevil.
Iron Man.
Yes,
but so like the Venko that you get from in Iron Man 2 is the son of the other one, and the other one was the Crimson Dynamo.
Oh.
So that was just because the Crimson Dynamo was a bad guy of Iron Man. And instead of doing that, I think because they were trying to avoid the really silly named character. Like, they didn't want him to fight the Crimson Dynamo. So Whiplash is a name you can give something, and that sounds reasonable.
This guy could have escaped whenever he wanted to, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, I think that really just like the getting all the way out of the building part was the hard part for him. Like, getting away from everything was pretty easy for him.
Just kick the goddamn door right off the hinges there.
Yeah, but he's not bulletproof. So by the time he gets to the wall and he tries to like get through there, he'd be doing like a lot of this. But Natasha's taking care of him.
Yeah, she's got it.
I love the idea of doing a movie and getting just like covered in those temporary tattoos, because obviously these are not David Harbour tattoos. These are Alexei tattoos.
That's right.
And so like how cool would that be?
I wonder how long they last.
That was my next
morning
question.
You got to get up and get them redone.
I probably
only maybe not this scene, right? Because you don't see them.
No, just across the chest.
So. I would demand it.
Yes.
Every morning I'd be like, this guy has these tattoos. I got to have them. Oh, look at him go.
Yeah. I really like his movements there were very much like Sabretooth.
Yes.
But I like that because I like when they do a decent job of that, where it looks like he's using his muscles
just being
and his
pulled
weight.
by the wire. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, barely touching. I'm like,
That's hard. Speaking of which, I saw a great scene of when they were testing Captain America, like outrunning everybody, all the Wakandans and stuff like that in Endgame.
Right.
So they had him on wires and they were pulling him, and he was just doing like this. And he was like just this far off the ground.
right.
And it was like such an easy thing to do, but it was very silly to watch.
I do remember that because Black Panther was like just behind him.
Yeah. So I love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, we got another action scene.
Yeah, I love experiencing when you really get to see people with their full potential and their power, because they hold back a lot of people, because when you realize how powerful they are, when you think about Hulk, when you think about Spider-Man or anything like that, you're like, well, how do they have an issue against anybody?
The movies have downplayed the Hulk's strength
Yes.
and upplayed Thor's.
Yeah.
He is so goddamn strong in these movies. It is fucking unreal.
Well, I mean,
Like holding onto the thing while the star like shoots through him to
Yeah.
make like Stormbreaker and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like,
yeah. Well, it's one thing though that I would at least defend from a standpoint of quote unquote reality is he's made of like Hulk is made of stuff of Earth. Even though he's like invulnerable and all that, he's still made of Earth, and he's
Earth
kind
stuff.
of he is bound to its rules.
Right.
Whereas Thor isn't. He's from a place that is like objectively superior in every way. Like their weakest person could take on most superheroes.
Oh, totally.
Like, so it's like that kind of thing. So then when you say, okay, he's essentially a god, then you're like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, the star thing probably seems like a bit much, especially given the fact that like Loki, well, I guess Loki wasn't
but when you look up like who's the strongest,
Yeah.
they always go into like the Living Tribunal and
Yes.
Molecule Man. They all say
Yes.
Molecule Man's number. They never show him. He's way too powerful.
Yeah.
You can never use him because
Yeah.
he literally controls the fucking molecules
Yes.
of the universe, of everything.
Yeah, see those
So it's
ones.
like Molecule Man, but when it goes into the real whatever, it's always Thor.
Yeah.
Is always in the contingency, like is in the conversation of number one.
Yeah.
But I always fucking disagree with that because
Yeah.
Hulk always goes toe to toe with him.
Yep.
And like I said, I feel especially what pissed me off was in goddamn Ragnarok
Yeah.
when they have to zap Hulk
Yeah.
because Thor's right coming at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, man. I was like, he's been on this planet for so long. He'd be so angry, man. He would fucking have way more of a chance.
Yeah. Well, they definitely didn't play up that part of the Hulk, like the kind of the planet Hulk of it all.
Yeah, but we did. Isn't it? Don't only mention that he gets stronger the angrier he gets.
Well,
I don't know if they
don't
actually
really.
ever. No, they don't actually. Now
They
that I
did-
think about this,
They did in the original Hulk because he gets bigger and bigger.
yes.
But in this one, he's kind of like this base level. But the thing is, he's like he's not the unstoppable force. He's the immovable object. Where it's like you can
Right.
beat on him all you want and nothing happens. So it's like it's not fair to say, oh, Thor can beat Hulk in a fight. He could beat on him for a really long time,
Right.
but it's not going to really matter. It's like my same thing when I said the way to get rid of the Hulk is to throw him into the sun. It's not to kill him. It's not going to kill him. It's going to burn him forever.
Yeah.
But he just can't physically jump off of the sun because there's nothing to jump off of. The gravity would just hold him there, and there'd be nothing for him to do. That's how you defeat him. Or put him in the mirror dimension where he can smash everything all he wants.
That'd be great.
But like that's the thing too, and that's another thing when you're talking about like, oh, who's more powerful, who's less powerful, whatever. It's like everybody has like a little key. Like, like there's things that Doctor Strange can do that just kind
Right.
of take care of it. There's things that, well, like obviously Wanda can do pretty much whatever the fuck she wants. She could just make
That's one of the
Hulk
characters
not
that
be.
I'm okay with her slowly gaining
Yeah.
her powers because then they get so powerful. It's
Yeah.
like, who the hell?
Yeah.
Like for their next bad guy, the next bad guy is going to have to be somebody super ridiculous because you got Captain Marvel, you've got,
Yeah. Did I tell you about my theory about Wanda?
no.
Okay.
Maybe.
So this is my new theory, is that in Multiverse of Madness, you are going to discover that this is not, like, the Mind Stone is not what set her free. It just, it did something else, which we'll get to in a second. You're going to find out that she's always had her powers because she is a mutant.
Yeah.
And the reason that you don't know mutants is because she already wiped out the mutants, but not killed them, wiped them from reality.
Yeah, that happened in House of M.
Yes. So what I'm going to think happens is, as a little girl, because she either finds out that her father's Magneto and is evil and whatever, she destroys the concept of mutants.
Right.
So they're all gone.
Yep.
And in that destroys the old concept of herself, meaning she no longer has her powers. And then it's the Mind Stone that unleashes that again. And then at some point during Multiverse of Madness, she has to undo what she's done, because we've already seen.
And
her
then when
change
she
reality.
undoes it, there's mutants.
And when she undoes it, the mutants already exist. You don't have to establish them.
I have a feeling that is very, very close to what is going to happen.
Yeah, that is my theory, because it makes the most sense, because it would then reestablish.
And then what
her
were
as a
they were
mutant.
doing the whole time?
What's that? It's
Like the mutants were doing what they were doing, fighting other mutants and everything, but nobody ever knew.
No, it would essentially be like they were like they were snapped. Like they blipped. They were just wiped out. Or they could, it could be a million things. It could be I moved them to the moon, or it could be any silly thing like that where they don't exist here, and that's it. Or they wiped them out to the point where they all existed, but they didn't know they were mutants.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they're all boom, and it's like
Oh,
all
it
their
just pisses
memories
me
are
off
back.
that they're going to have to start it like that.
Well,
oh my God.
well,
Can't we
it's-
have the backstory and the...
Well, but the problem is you can't now, because we've gone through 20 years of this world with no mutants. So that would basically mean you'd have to start them all, and they'd all have to be new.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Or they're
Yeah.
from another dimension,
Yes.
like Venom.
Yes, that's also.
And then they could come over, and then you could still have... It's gonna, here's the thing, what I've said before.
Yeah.
It's like you can't... Okay, the comics have happened.
Yeah.
The cartoon happened.
Yeah.
As much as I want the X-Men movie
Yeah.
to be just a carbon copy of the cartoon, only
Yeah.
more...
Yeah.
That still exists. So
Yes.
if they have to do something new, which they should,
Yeah.
why go tread old ground?
Yeah.
Like, even if what comes out now, you don't like it, you could still go back and experience the other one.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Yeah. It's just that kind of thing. It's like they need a way to establish them into this reality, but you need a way to establish them into this reality where there's been people who have been mutants for a long time, and there are new mutants, and there are all that. And it's like to me, that was the only kind of reasonable way to do it. Because then also, even if you bring them from another dimension, then you kind of have this whole fish out of water
Right.
kind of thing you then have to deal with. Whereas if it's just, I erased them from reality when I was a little girl, and for whatever reason that would be, and then you come back, everybody, they all know their place already, and it's exactly like being blipped, it's like, I know
Right.
what I'm supposed to do, which that was an awesome scene too in Hawkeye, by the way, when she blips, when she disappears and comes back.
Oh,
and
in the
it's
bathroom.
and it's a new house.
In the bathroom,
Well,
yes,
not a
that
new
was
house,
super
but
fucking cool. Yep.
yeah.
And she walks away. It's the same girl because she was in the organization as well. She was a Black Widow.
Yes.
And then 15, she said, we have a daughter. I'm like, I work at Wendy's now. I don't kill.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like that they actually handled in Falcon and the Winter Soldier too, is just that whole idea of everybody coming back, and then they're like, we're deporting all these people because now we don't have room for you anymore, because they
Right.
brought everybody together because of the snap. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, now you're living in a house of somebody who already, who exists again, so you have to leave and stuff. And I'm like, that's an interesting political thing to have to play.
What's cool
right?
too, because when she came out of the bathroom, like they had known. Like she comes walking out of the bathroom, and they're like,
she's
"Oh
like, "What?"
fuck!" Right? Like we watched you disappear 5 years ago, and now there you are. Well, we didn't watch you, but we went to the bathroom. Like, are you still in there?
That would have been really funny.
Fucking leaves.
That would have been really funny. It comes out and she looks up, and then her daughter's like, "Ooh, I have to go use the bathroom." She's like, "Don't go in there. She's been in there for years." He looks like such an old man, because he's supposed to be like their father figure. He's only, I think, 9 years older
Right.
than Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is 11 years older than Florence Pugh.
Right.
So I mean, the age difference between David Harbour and ScarJo is smaller than the difference between ScarJo and Florence Pugh.
Yes, are we there yet? It's like you're like 5 feet from the helicopter.
Yeah, but
What do you think?
Yeah, but we don't know how close they crashed.
That is true.
Right. So Rachel Weisz, we were talking about her earlier too. So here's the
I was surprised to see her in this movie, actually.
Yeah, it was a good role for her.
oh.
Gotta just find her again. I know most of these things and all that, but anyway. So like I said, she was in Chain Reaction, Constant Gardener, The Mummy, Beautiful Creatures, Enemy at the Gates, Mummy Returns, About a Boy, Constantine, Fred Claus, which I forgot about. That blew my mind. The Lovely Bones, Born Legacy, Oz Great and Powerful. She's coming up in a show called Dead Ringers, where she plays her own twin. And then
I wonder if that's based off the movie.
I don't know, probably.
With Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. No, was that Dead Ringers or Dead Calm?
Oh, fuck, I fucked up.
I think that was Dead Calm.
I think you're right. I think I fucked up.
And then she's in a movie called Love Child with Colin Farrell coming
I think
up.
Dead Ringers was Irons.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy Irons.
I was going to say, the Dead Ringers, it sounds like it was like a Jamie Kennedy joint.
Oh, that's funny. I hear Dead Ringers and I think like Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Or,
I can see that
like,
too.
yeah.
I can see that. I can see Devon Sawa starring in it.
Oh, he was just in something.
Devon Sawa?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Good for him. I like him.
Like a Sharknado-esque kind of one of these. It was like part 4 or something of
Wonderful.
something. Oh, it's family reunion. They're all pissed off.
Yeah.
She's got her James Bond snow gear on.
You're supposed to be able to see somewhere. You're supposed to be able to see this blue mask of hers. She is also a villain in the MCU. She is Iron Maiden.
No way.
In the
Who?
MCU.
Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, Rachel Weisz. And she is one of Black Widow's like biggest enemies.
No way.
Yeah. I think it's right here. You can see them in the back
right there. Yeah. What is that? Her old mask or something? Or is that Iron Maiden's mask?
Those are the Iron Maiden masks.
Like how they do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's good because it's such fan service to the right people.
A little fan service.
But it's like...
just for you to be like, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, you're not then talking down to like kind of the average fan who's not going to know that. You're giving it to the people who are like, hey, you're really going to enjoy this. But then to the people who aren't going to know, you're like, don't worry about it. You're not even going to notice it. And I was like,
oh, yeah, he hasn't seen his old lady in a long time.
Yeah.
He's been in prison.
Mm-hmm. She's got the weirdest eyebrows. Well, not the weirdest.
Rachel Weisz?
Yeah. Salma Hayek has the weirdest eyebrows, but
I don't notice her eyebrows.
Yeah, that's all I can think about.
Oh, he's trying to put his old suit on.
So much. Oh God, this must be because he gained weight. Like, because even if you gain weight for a role, you probably feel very self-conscious and stuff like that. So then to do a scene where you're having to squish your weird body into like a
Batista's actually been on record recently and said that he's starting to get very self-conscious of his body as he gets older, and he doesn't want to take his shirt off anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know how that's going to work for Drax.
They should be
like
fine.
They go to the mall. Like, he's been in there for 3 hours.
Yeah. The only thing that would have been better is he like goes to flex and the whole thing just goes like whoosh.
I never watched it once, he says.
See, but like his helmet, like that is basically a carbon copy of Captain America's helmet, just with the
I like this whole stuff
design
with them where they're like, I'm whipping it out.
All right, finally.
Oh, his belt's like jabbing my gut.
I'm calling HR, baby.
Oh, I got like the train tracks going on under here. I'm like, oh.
It's something you didn't know about Todd is he's a quarter bread dough.
A quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the old Sovid.
Feeling yeasty.
Just like my favorite vages, nice and yeasty.
Oh, God.
See, look at that. Drinking the old vodka. He's like, yo, I haven't... No, I knew that's what it was. I didn't even see what they were saying because I'm too busy playing myself.
He's horny as
fuck.
fuck.
You're damn right. He's been in prison fighting off all these dudes.
Mm-hmm. I like when my favorite, like, really corny, like easy joke. They did it in Arrested Development, but it's that kind of thing where he's like, I haven't had sex in 3 months. He's like, you've been in prison for 10 years.
The location of the Red Room. This sounds like one of the after-hours clubs in like Toronto.
Yeah, I feel like the Red Room is definitely a place where swingers go.
Oh yeah, that's beyond the green door. That's even after the green door. There's the red door.
Yeah, that's the That's for VIP swingers.
Oh yeah.
You think you're about to have sex with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and then they go into the VIP room. And you're like,
Oh fuck, that's an extra $20.
I guess I'm fucking Rosie O'Donnell again. She can't.
Pow, with those things she was always shooting around.
The koosh balls.
Yeah, she was always kooshing.
They're back.
Of course, everything goes around and around.
Yeah, from nostalgia, baby. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just talking about nostalgia. I was just like, nostalgia's the thing. If I won a bunch of money, I would open up a retro theater with a big retro arcade inside.
Oh,
I was like, I bet you anything that thing would just be like pouring money in.
I think it's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Retro, yeah, and they're showing all retro movies. And it should be too, like you got to pay a couple bucks just to get in.
Yeah.
And you could just go into the movie if you want. And walk out, be like, oh, if I seen this military, I gotta go play a game.
But have the midnight screenings of like Rocky Horror and stuff like that.
I like to have a horror, where you're watching all these classic horror movies and you get like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Unlimited popcorn, 4 bags.
Oh God! So
you're
spending my money a lot.
We only tied.
Yeah,
that's really disconcerting.
Yeah, I know.
Like, who the fuck was in there before us? Like, who? Like, wow.
You just you came into that memory about halfway through it. You didn't even start. You didn't even start that memory of being like, "Hey, remember when we had the all-you-can-eat popcorn and we got to 4 bags?" You're just like, "Who tied us?"
I know, like what fat, beautiful human being beat us?
But let's also.
I guarantee it was probably the one Asian dude. 86 pounds.
Yeah.
5 bags, no problem.
What he does, he pours milk over the whole thing so it turns into one small bar and then he just eats it.
Those guys are beasts.
Oh, so good.
And then they got to walk off like I remember seeing the one thing, the guy with his belly was so distended.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's like an art form now. It's like this guy's now knows that if you were to seven him in the gut and give him a boot, he would literally explode and die.
Yeah.
It's literally he's got to walk off somewhere and sit for hours because he's so full. I'm like, oh my God.
I watched a video where it was 4 guys eating, or it ended up being more than 4 guys, but they were eating the world's largest slice of pizza against Joey Chestnut.
Ooh.
And Joey Chestnut beat them, but then they weighed themselves before and after, and the 4 guys gained a combined 17 pounds after eating that thing. And then they weighed Chestnut.
Weight.
Yeah, no, he didn't gain as much weight as they gained combined. I don't know how any of that works, but also it probably has to do with
you really
water.
gain 17 pounds in one meal?
Because you still have it sitting in your stomach.
Oh gosh, you're weigh myself after, and I've eaten so much. Yeah, these are the guys, I'm telling you, and they're so fucking full that it's they're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how they could do that. Because I watched too, when you watch Joey Chestnut eat, he's just sweating in a way where you're like, do you not understand that what you're doing is not healthy? Or
he doesn't care. He's a god.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Who cares?
He can have free Nathan's hot dogs whenever he wants.
God, exactly.
Don't you even understand?
He just walks into a place where here's 57 Nathan's hot dogs. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck is Nathan?
I don't know, it was the guy who made hot dogs.
I know, because when I was in Toronto, there was a Nathan's hot dogs, and I was like, I really kind of want to eat one. But
Nathan's hot dogs. I've watched that Food That Built America, and he was a guy who he didn't invent the hot dog, but he's the guy who kind of popularized it in the U.S.
Right,
where he took the Frankfurter sausage and put it on a bun because he wanted something, he was on a break from work and he wanted something that he could eat with one hand and quickly. And so that was basically the whole idea.
A wiener's not enough. You need the bread with it. You
gotta have a bread.
Meat and potatoes, bread,
Sometimes I just like 2 wieners. I just eat them. I'm eating that one and I'm eating that one.
Dunkin'.
And then, while some people like ketchup or mustard, I like to have mayo all over them, and then I spray it all over my face.
Slap them on your face first.
And then just have mayo all over my face.
Oh, yeah, I like that too. Come on, right? Oh, Mayo Slaw. These guys are family. They haven't seen each other in 20 years. Now they're, here comes the fight.
It'd be very funny if they had to have a scene with like a family psychiatrist or something like that. I guess originally they wrote this where like these guys never kind of made amends.
Right.
It was just like they just still hated each other at the end, and I think they just all decided, well, they're like from a psychological standpoint in movies, people need resolution.
Right.
So we gotta like.
Right, exactly.
Because
it's nice. They like it.
It's nice on paper to like have that. Like, not everything has to be resolved. It's like when we talk about like the ends of like TV shows and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to tie up every loose end. But they're like, yeah, it drives some people will literally go insane if that doesn't happen. So.
Well, because then you're thinking, oh, they never made up. Like this nice Hollywood ending or whatever. Like
that was why like.
And she has not taken the suit off.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably not. She doesn't know whether she can trust them or not.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, maybe there's just nothing in her.
That's why she's got tears in her eyes. The goddamn suit reeks. It's burning her eyes.
She was. Now who's her mother? Now we got to figure that out.
Her hair? Her hair seems redder, actually.
Yeah. Well, she probably dyed it like because.
Was it always red?
Well, she was red for almost the entire run. It was like really red for the entire run, except for. Infinity War, she changed her hair blonde after the events of Civil War. She dyed her hair blonde,
so nobody would ever recognize her.
Yeah,
makes total sense. Yeah.
Hey, it's that hot girl who looks exactly like Black Widow, but she's blonde.
Can't be her.
So
she's not blonde. Yeah,
she just Hurricane Rona'd somebody for no reason. But she's blonde.
Yeah, it's not her. I see women hurricaning people all the time.
Yeah.
The Steiner recliner.
Oh, good God. I cannot get enough of good old Scotty Steiner.
Their son, or his son, is there now.
Really?
Braun Breaker.
That's not.
It looks and sounds exactly like them.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this will get you every time. The old picture book.
Don't get me.
Yeah, you burned them all.
I wonder if they fought. I'm almost surprised. Because Mila Jovovich's daughter was in this, that Mila Jovovich wasn't wasn't Taskmaster or
right.
Something like
Ooh. She might as well have been. She's probably there for her daughter anyways.
Yeah.
That'd be weird to bring your daughter to a movie, but like you're not in it.
Yeah, I know. That was like that one time with that Karate Kid with Will Smith being like there and just like basically like shit talking his own son into like telling him to not be a pussy when he was so sore. Like he was like beat up and he was all bruised and he had like ice over his knees and stuff like that. He's like, you gotta get back out there. And it's just like he's 10.
Dad, there's 20 people out there.
Yeah.
They just already beat the living shit out of me.
Yeah. Why do they keep beating me up? Is it because I keep saying I can see numbers that they can't? That might have something to do with it, but don't back down.
And see, they're finding out now that they did love them. They were trapped in the system as well.
Yeah.
They're really your family.
Nice.
No, I wonder what happened when they found out that she died.
Nobody died. Don't worry about
it. And what a fucking cool. But I guess they like I said, what if it was Hawkeye and Thor that went? Would Thor have had to die?
Well, no, because
he even?
Well, no, but that actually is kind of like the paradox, the problem there, because Hawkeye and Thor don't love each other. They're not like it's the whole point is you have to sacrifice somebody that you love, and it's like they don't have that relationship. Like it literally
it worked out really well that they just randomly picked the two of them to go there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the writers did that, but they knew what was going to happen. So
I also find it reckless that they would have sent the two of them. On a mission, like way out into space to who knows where, without one of the superhumans with them.
No, that's fair.
Like, I mean, what the fuck? Like,
that's fair, but yeah, it's like, but literally, there was literally no other combination. Like, had they gone there with any other combination of people, they wouldn't even have been able to get the stone.
It wouldn't have worked.
They would have had to come back and be like, well, either that or they'd have to
I like develop these shoes.
Yeah, they'd have to develop. That would have been amazing. Tosses a single shoe over. It's like it's useless without the pair.
Well, now I don't have fucking two shoes on now. Like.
And then that would be amazing. And then the guy, he wakes up in the pool and he has the stone because he's wearing one shoe. And it goes back to Red Skull. He's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, he does not. You can throw anything off. He doesn't care. He's been there for so long.
This guy is just like, it's just whoever they picked was such a hoarder.
Well, you
that
like this watch? Yeah, whatever. Just throw the watch. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, he's not in charge of whether or not what you did was good.
That's
enough.
right. He's just,
it's just
there to explain the rules.
That's literally he is tasked with explaining the rules because he tried to. He got blasted in Captain America. He gets like blasted to this place, and this is his punishment for basically trying to corrupt the Infinity Stone.
Wow. Took it out on some dates. He just talked shit to it, lied to it a lot.
Yeah. I saw somebody made the best thing. They made an Infinity Gauntlet with Infinity Rocks, not Infinity Stones, little teeny tiny Dwayne The Rock Johnsons in the different colors. And they were all like just his face, and he put them, and he just...
The rocks.
So he's like, they're all Infinity Rocks. He also made a big gold chain with a spinning rock face on it.
Nice.
And The Rock actually duetted that on TikTok. He's like, yeah, nice. And then it was kind of weird. And then at the end, he was kind of weirded out going, what am I watching?
How would you not remember the song? Well, I guess he hasn't heard any music in a trillion years and stuck in prison.
This is the song that they used to sing to her when she was a little girl.
Well, no, they were in the car and it came on,
That also came on then. That is a very not great song to have for your kids. I guess Afternoon Delight would be worse though.
Oh fuck!
For where it's talking about having day sex.
That
That was great in Arrested Development when.
Oh shit!
Yeah. When Jason Bateman and Maybe there are singing Afternoon Delight together, and then then they finally realized that it's a.
Oh yeah,
it's a song about having sex.
Oh fuck! Whoa!
That's good comedy.
He was just about to be like, they think this is going to stop me. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Remember, this is somebody who's never tasted water. It's only vodka.
They had to get rid of him, eh? They were like, this is all for the ladies, bud. You're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, from that standpoint, too, just being a super soldier dude, he could barrel through these guys on his own.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
So, I get it.
Oh, there he is.
Or is it he?
The Taskmaster.
I don't get it.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, no, she's
down. What happened to her?
She's fine.
Uh-oh.
Imagine she's just taking a power nap.
Yeah, well, she's trying to, save her energy for the big last fight.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, the sound is off.
Yeah, that was off.
Uh-oh, she's a traitor.
It's a good thing we're not listening to this.
She's just betrayed her. That's a cool suit, though.
No, it's probably fine.
Yo, Taskmaster. Oof. Oh, fuck. Keep who waiting? Oh, God.
I don't know. The spacemen.
Is it the Chitauri?
That would be amazing if it was just a random Chitauri.
Oh, fuck. Is he waking up now?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's in hell.
You take those, that many, man. They're going to give you the scoots. Oh, fuck.
I would like to see that as some kind of a, a side effect. It's like all the anesthetic gave me the shits.
And then he uses it in the last scene.
Mm-hmm.
Super soldier shit.
Oh, I just remember what happened in this movie. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to think of, hey, why did this happen? Why did that happen? And now I'm caught back up. My brilliance knows no bounds.
Oh, there he goes. You're out again. They know he's going to cause a scene. They got to keep him out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if anything else, he's not quiet, right?
Well, she's got a plan, and he's going to ruin it, so.
Yeah, he will fuck it up. So we did talk about money a little bit before. We'll talk about it more now. The movie made $183 million domestic, $379 million worldwide. I want to get the budget for this because I didn't catch that.
That's cool. The Red Room's like some facility way up in the cloud there.
It used to be something else, but now this is how they've avoided S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, this actually cost $200 million to make, too. That's actually surprising. I I didn't think like this compared to Spider-Man would have made as much, but
Cost as much.
yeah, thank you very much. But yeah, so it opened number one, $80 million. Number one, knocking F9 out of the top spot. Went down to number 2 week 2 when the Space Jam movie came out. Then it went down to number 3 when Old and Snake Eyes came out. Then number 4 when Jungle Cruise and The Green Knight came out. Stayed number 4 the next week when Suicide Squad came out. Went down to number 7 when Free Guy and Don't Breathe 2 and Respect came out. And then it was out of the top 10 after that. The top 10 movies of 2021 so far, though. And I say so far, you'll be hearing this in
Spider-Man.
2022. Spider-Man is number 1 after being out for 2 weeks.
That's fucked, eh?
Yep. Then the next movie is The Battle at Lake Changjin.
Must be Chinese.
It's a Chinese movie.
Yeah, okay. Well, they got the numbers.
Which
Come on,
made
right?
which made over $900 million.
Okay.
The third highest movie, Hi Mom, another Chinese movie.
Oh, okay.
The fourth movie was No Time to Die.
Okay.
With how much was that one? That one was $774 million. Then it was F9 with $706 million, or 726, sorry. Then it was Detective Chinatown 3, another Chinese movie. Then it was Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Then Godzilla vs. Kong. So the same guy who wrote this and Godzilla vs. So he had the 2 of the top 10.
Oh, good for him.
Or
Well,
no, he had
give her a
2
new
top
face.
movies. Yes. And then Shang-Chi was number 9. And then very surprising, Eternals was number 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I was going to say now that you mentioned the Eternals? I hope that when these people, these, independent directors come to make a movie, that they don't get, I feel like, after the Eternals and they say it's a bomb, I hope that they don't,
and
blacklist what's her name. Like, she could get another, if you thought she was good enough to make this movie and then this flopped.
Yeah.
It's like she didn't write the script or anything.
But,
so we all like.
But let's make something very clear. It didn't flop. It made $400 million.
That's
It made more.
Exactly. This is like the whole solo thing.
It made more. It made more than this movie. It did better than this one, which was objectively
it's in
better.
the top 10.
But like it's that one. It had very mixed reviews. There are people who liked it a lot. There are some people who liked it just because of kind of what it represented, like just like finally like a really diverse movie, which is fine. But I mean, I judge a movie based on whether or not a movie is good, and I didn't really care super much for that.
What the hell was that?
Her face is all fucking up.
Oh yeah,
because she's ScarJo. She was always ScarJo. Don't shoot her. Yeah,
he's so good.
He's so good in this,
and
oh
really, my lord,
really
Winstone. I don't know.
It doesn't even matter. He's really not in it for that long either. All things considered, right? Like, yeah, I like too that because that's the one thing he has in common with Captain America is his patriotism. It's just the fact that his patriotism was towards Russia. Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, he knows the error of his ways now.
I love too because you had that moment which was very much like the Americans at the beginning, where they're all like American accents and just like. That was the one thing that kind of screwed me up though, because what's her face, Yelena has like this Russian accent. I'm like, would she not have like did she go back to Russia for a really long time and stay there? Or I guess she did, but the other girls didn't seem to have Russian accents.
Yeah, and she doesn't have hers either.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
What a mind job.
Oh, what a plan, eh?
Yeah.
You thought she sold her out. You're all pissed.
I was pretty pissed.
I knew it.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sure they didn't find the thing in her ear as they went to.
Yeah. No, nobody checks ears because they're gross.
Yeah.
It's like if they maybe this doctor, he's like, don't look at the ears. If I see earwax, I puke.
It's like whatever, ectoplasm, blood, jizz, piss, shit, all good, but not ear crud.
Yeah.
There's a line.
Also not cool with a cocktail of
shit.
4 or more of any of those things you just mentioned.
Oh, all together, right.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. That was like the grossest thing in Oz. So many crazy things happen in Oz, and there's one thing where the guy, like, it's like piss, shit, and blood and vomit or something like that, and he like throws it on the guy, and I'm like, no, no. Yeah, I just watched a guy bite off another guy's penis, but this I cannot deal with.
This was too much.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, they had a plan.
They did not tell him. They're like, he'll be fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I like those Iron Maiden masks. That would have been fun. That would have been a cool thing to see. Maybe that was like something they were kind of leaning towards for like a future movie potentially. I don't know.
Right. That's it.
Oh,
That would not be my first concern.
No.
Like, well, maybe in case they did recapture you, then they would have to put the line back on, giving you some more time to get out again.
Ray Winstone, man, he looks old as fuck in this movie.
You think so? I think he looks younger than he has in a long time, actually.
I don't know. I think it's because when I think about him most, I'm thinking about The Departed, and he's like he's like a full of piss and vinegar kind of guy in that. So to talk about him for a bit, he was in Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains, Darkness Falls, Sexy Beast, Ripley's Game, which was a pretty decent, talented Mr. Ripley sequel, all things considered. Which was John Malkovich as Tom Ripley.
I forgot about that movie, actually.
And oh god, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? That doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. What else? King Arthur, Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, King Arthur, The Departed, Beowulf.
Beowulf.
He was Mac in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He was in 13, Hugo, Snow White and the Huntsman, Noah. He was in Cats. Yikes. And then he's in an upcoming movie called Bit of Light with Anna Paquin. Anna Paquin's got a weird career going on right now because she is starring in a movie with Zachary Levi about football player Kurt Warner. It's like a biopic of Kurt Warner.
Who the fuck is Kurt Warner?
It's a friggin' quarterback for he was the quarterback for the Rams and for...
Well, maybe he's got a story to tell.
Well, he's got like this kind of underdog kind of story. Oh...
It's a chick!
Olga Kurylenko.
Oh my god. Her best friend from Russian school, Olga.
It was nice. The girl she blew up. She murdered her.
God. Well, it looks like she's dead, huh?
Well, it does. It does. See, and she's had to put a chip in the back of her neck, and he's not happy about it.
Ruffles. Ooh. Salt and vinegar. So if you try and pull that out, it stings.
She looks like, who am I thinking about?
Like a person with her crazy eye.
There's another superhero movie or something like that where it's almost like the exact same thing going on. And it was one of the X-Men movie. It was Jason or whatever his name was, the other like psychic dude who was like
putting... An X-Men?
Yeah, it was like Stryker's son who was like in the wheelchair. Which, by the way, something I will give credit to. I liked... Brian Cox. But Brian Cox is William Stryker.
Well, he's always awesome.
Yeah, he's just a home run hitter. And let's give a little bit of love to poor Hugh Jackman. Just got COVID.
Oh no, poor Hugh.
He gave some love to. He's doing The Music Man right now on, I think it's Broadway. I don't know. And I guess the girl who's like the star wasn't there, so they had to go to their understudy. But their understudy is what's called a swing. So she's somebody who's the understudy for like 10 roles.
Right.
So she had like, what was it? An hour's notice. She was told at noon that like she had to play the role, and she did it. They gave her a quick rehearsal at 1:00, and that's it to get ready. And then she went out and performed it. So he brought her out at the end of the show. He brought her forward, and it's like this is her first time ever doing this. And she had like no time to prepare, and everybody gave her like a big standing O, and she was just kind of like, "Oh,
that's cool." What was her? What was she called again?
She's called a swing. So essentially,
swing. I dig that. Yeah, I just learned something.
Yeah. So essentially, she just she was basically like every female role she was an understudy for, and they needed her this time because funny enough that girl was sick and now dude's sick, so I'm willing to bet that she also had COVID, and it's just a big COVID factory over at the Music Man.
It's been COVID factory everywhere.
Man. Oh,
This is the one thing that gets me too. This is kind of like the Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Where they flip it and it's like, that's this person.
Yeah.
And they kind of watered down Taskmaster, like still cool, but the actual Taskmaster is like way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler than this one.
I would agree because I think that, and I don't know if it's like kind of on purpose that they watered him down to like elevate the other bad guy.
Right.
Or which I don't think is necessary. I don't think you need to like you don't need to like I want to say de-elevate. That's not the word. But you like bring down another person to bring up another one. Just let them all be fucking awesome.
He's like this, right? Like
well, he studied the Panther style. These guys always bothered me because it gave me it gave me that kind of G.I. Joe retaliation energy. That was disgusting. I love that. Yeah, the audio's off. I think we have a sync issue just coming to the board. So like our audio's off just bad. A little bit, but we have it down so low and
it's like so it doesn't
even matter.
One kick, eh?
Mm-hmm. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what they did, like, because their plan was once they met Florence Pugh and started working with her, their plan was to basically feature her every bit as much as Black Widow, because they knew that A, there was a potential that ScarJo was not coming back,
right?
And B, they knew that even if she did come back, there would still be a place for Yelena in the MCU,
right?
So she's a contingent.
Oh, she
backup.
Gets added into the team.
I think she'll get added into the team, or they're gonna make her part of another team. Because, like they said, they started talking about like additional Avengers crews and stuff like that. So I think there's gonna be a lot of homes for her, moving forward. But she's really funny. I'd like to see more with her and Kate Bishop.
Yeah, they were awesome together. I thought they had good chemistry as well.
Yeah.
Yes, like big time.
Yeah, it's like that was like I almost want like that to be the next buddy
comedy thing. Yeah, I'd like to see
Mm-hmm.
Kate Bishop in the Avengers too. But yeah, they're probably going to do Avengers Young or whatever the fuck.
Avengers.
Like Young Justice.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about who all will be, because like the only ones we know so far would be like Yelena, and I'm like, how young do they consider young? Because I'm like, Yelena at that point is going to be like, she would still be like what, in her like late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, he punched her right in the face. No. Did nothing too. She's like, you hit like a little bitch.
This is like one of those, like, this reminds me of like one of those scenes in a movie where like the hooker is
turns
like,
it around.
Another guy's like, you can't get it up, and like you can't even get it up, and she just keeps beating on her. That is a thing. That is a thing in movies. I'm not.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes,
I'm glad, because at first because even with my confidence saying that is a thing in movies, I was like, is it a thing? It
totally is. Yeah.
Okay, because I was panicking a little bit, but trying to act really confident.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I got to stop punching you because you're getting off on this.
Yeah. I thought he was going to smash her with the chair.
Oh, his ring of power.
Yeah, it's always the ring. Throw it into Mount
Widows.
Throw it into Mount Dr. Doom.
Is this all of the ones he has under control?
Yeah. Could you imagine like that? What a sight to actually see. Oh, that's kind of like Cerebro.
Yeah. It only finds chicks though. Chicks with daddy issues.
I had thought during this time, I was like, that would be an interesting series to have like Yelena traveling around and like encountering all these girls. I'm like, it would get pretty old pretty fast, actually. If they'd be
come on, they could probably really mix it up.
Yeah.
You know.
I was gonna say it would remind me of like the Incredible Hulk show or something, where basically he wanders into another town, somebody's got a problem, and then it's like, okay, we have the following 4 steps to go through before I have to leave this place and go to somewhere else. So, and it would just essentially.
And it was what the Hulk was. It's kind of like Kwai Chang Caine wandering around.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
that is exactly what it was. But not Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. Kwai Chang Caine stayed the fuck put in that one because his son Peter Caine made it so.
Dude, look at this guy.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like this gives me such like bad vibes of just like what's going on now. It's like the world being what it is. I'm like, oh God, is this what's destabilizing everything? Because everybody, obviously a lot of like accusations of like Trump being a Russian operative or McConnell being a Russian operative or the new guy that Christ, what's his name? Madison Cawthorn.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, Biden. I was like, you're talking about Biden?
No, Biden's too old to be a Russian
He doesn't
operative.
give a
He
fuck.
cannot.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. He may have been.
I could
and
see
has
Trump
totally
being
forgotten.
Trump was all about Russia.
Well, he was all about Russia, but also, like, he feels like the kind of guy who would be indebted to people because of, like, bad mistakes.
Right.
Like, that's where like I came in. I was like, okay. Like, when they started talking the PP tape, I'm like, yeah, I could see him do it. I could see him having that be an issue. Or money things where it's like, oh, they own all his debt and like all
Right,
that. So I'm like,
yes.
okay, I could see that being a thing. So that's my thing about conspiracy theories. I don't, without true evidence, I buy into none of them, but I always gauge whether or not it seems reasonable to be a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Like the moon landing.
Fake.
Well, but it's reasonable to suspect that there's a reason they would fake it.
Right.
To say they beat the Russians.
That's right.
So
So space race.
there's tons of they've shown tons of evidence of little scientific things and whatever that show that the things that they landed on the moon are there. Like in the Sea of Tranquility and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, all well and good. But I totally, that's amazing.
She's been fucking with him
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, she just severed that like olfactory nerve that was making it so she wouldn't hurt him.
Oh, I thought he was already gone, and she was just
No.
pretending when she went to stab him and
No,
stuff.
when she smashed her nose, she broke her nose so she couldn't smell his
his
musk.
pheromones.
Yes, his pheromones is the correct word. Musk is the better word.
Mr. Musk.
Yeah, you smell my musk, baby. I'm just gonna say that to
Musk is like reminds me of just like a big old sweaty crotch.
Yeah, like I just
The
make
Musk.
I just want to see how many people I'd have to say it to before I went to jail. If I just went up to a mall and got as close as I could and just whispered, "Can you smell my musk?"
Oh, if you were speaking moistly while
God.
you said musk, then you may go to prison. Yes.
I read somebody's tweet where they said the word wet yelling. And I was like, that haunted me for the longest time. Like, I knew exactly what they were talking about. I was just like, the concept of
yelling and spits flying out. Yeah, wet yelling.
Wet yelling. And I was just like,
Wet Yelena.
nothing. Oh, well, that could be something. But again, it takes me back to that clip when you talked about Haley Steinfeld. She's so beautiful. Is she of age?
She is.
Yes, she is.
I like the way that they made her look in Hawkeye.
Yes.
Like when you see her in her music videos and she's just got so much makeup on.
Yes.
But in Hawkeye,
She just looks like a person.
yeah, I was like, I really liked it. I mean, she's hot either way for Christ's sake.
I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that with the like. It's like almost like she has to have like a music personality. Like the makeup version of her is the Chris Gaines.
Right. I like that.
I don't know that I like that.
That didn't take very long.
No.
Oh,
it's-
shit.
Every fight ends with a Hurricane Rana. Oh,
Just pulled her kick there.
yeah.
The fuck was that?
She faked it. This whole thing might not be real. Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh, now she has to fight a lot of them.
Oh, fuck.
He is
for
really
you,
good.
bud.
You know what though? I had that mistake again because every time I hear his name, I think that he was the Punisher at one point, but it was that other. It was a Ray something or.
Oh, yes. I like that Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
The bad guy was Buddy from...
The Wire.
Yes.
Yeah. You know who it was actually supposed to be? Freddie Prinze Jr.
Really?
It was the director whose name is escaping me right now. She directed that Green Street Hooligans too, with Charlie Hunnam and Elijah Wood, and so she got that role. And she was, the studio forced her to read him, and she's like, like Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't want to do that. And then she was like, he gave the best audition I ever saw, and I went to the studio. I'm like, we have to give him the role. And they're like, no, we're not going to give him the role. And they're like, why did you make me read? Well, we promised we would. And it was just like that bullshit thing. It's just like, then, like, what are you doing? So they ended up having to give it to somebody else. She's like, she wanted to give it to Freddie Prinze, and they wouldn't have it.
Even though Freddie Prinze was like the best.
Yeah, she said he was the best guy for the role, like, by a lot.
He was a wrestling writer
Yeah.
for a while.
Mm-hmm. He actually had some really funny... He's been a really funny storyteller lately. I saw this story he told about... The Rock somebody was like, we're trying to find somebody who has a negative story about The Rock, and nobody can even come close. Like, the most negative thing is like, oh my God, he helped my mom, like, pay her bills or something like that. Like, he's always so amazing.
That's the most negative.
Yeah, that's the most negative.
Yeah.
It's always just like, whatever. And he's like, okay, no, he's like, I do have a negative story about The Rock. And he's like, it's about my grandmother. And he's like, and she... I can't remember the whole story. I'm just paraphrasing bits and pieces here. But essentially the reason she was super mad at The Rock, and he was trying to find out why. And then finally she got to say, she was like, oh, I hate you so much, The Rock. He's like, why, what's going on? He's like, you joined the corporation. Like, it was like just some wrestling plot thing.
That's evil son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's when they did the flip, I think, where Austin became...
Yes.
Oh, no, because if The Rock would have joined the corporation, then
Yeah.
Austin, he joined McMahon,
Yeah.
which would have been right.
Lots of things happened
Yeah,
back then.
yeah. That's when they were willing to flip.
Yeah.
They'd be like, okay, well, we need the same. We only got so many guys. We're going to do the same WrestleMania as last year, but now you're going to be the good guy and you're going to be the bad guy.
But it's such a huge dynamic change. Like, when, like, Stone Cold went bad, it changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and
and
he
it's
was
like...
with McMahon. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Like, and it changed up what every match was gonna be, and all of a sudden, right? Like, and it helps bring up new good guys, and it helps do all sorts of shit. And
it's like
just
they never made Cena bad. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
He started good, and then he was bad for a little. When he was the rapper,
No, he was just he was the guy,
he was like the asshole.
Thugonomics.
Yeah.
You know, that young kind of upstart guy.
but yeah,
he always said to me, and he wanted to go,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh. Don't do that.
No blood coming out.
Well,
no
there was blood
spraying out of her
Well, there
nose.
was blood coming out earlier when she broke it.
No, anybody punched it.
Oh yeah. No, but also like she
shit.
smashed her nose too. Like.
Oh yeah, she broke
Yeah,
it.
yeah, she broke her nose, and then she just reset it, I
Oh
guess.
fuck, girl. Was she looking for somebody specific here? Was she looking for a date?
She should have... No, she's getting the locations of all of the girls so they can,
Go
find
free them with their
mist.
red vials.
Their Terrigen mist. Oh,
shit.
don't take that elevator.
The flames like said the basement, boop, pressed it, and...
I want to double shoot something. Well, that's what I said, because I was talking to somebody about paintball.
Whoa!
That's crazy. Yeah, I was talking to somebody about paintball yesterday actually, and we were discussing like, you know, have you ever done it and stuff? I'm like, the only way I'd do it is if I had those, like, just those single handgun ones where, like, they don't have the big tanks and stuff, because I want to friggin', like, John Woo my way through the entire experience.
And then you have to, like, you only get pop, 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 pop. Then you got to go up against the wall.
Yeah.
Fucking load them, right? But then, you know, I have to be on the other side of the one. We have to shoot at each other with the camera right in between.
Yeah. Release, and then I release a bunch of doves that are riddled with paint because we constantly been, like, they haven't been getting shot directly, but paint has been splattering on them as other things have been getting shot.
And the slow-mo replay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Whole place is coming down.
Man, it's a good thing all that's digital, or this would have been really expensive.
Holy fuck.
Isn't it funny, though, that, like, this movie didn't cost as much as or it cost more than the Titanic to make, and the Titanic had to rebuild the Titanic?
Well, a piece of it.
Yeah, but well, you know what I mean, though. Like, that's not nothing.
Oh, fuck, you're going back.
Like,
How much did Titanic cost?
I think it was about $100 million.
That's it?
Yeah, well, but again, it was the 90s.
Right.
So,
look at these guys. They are not giving up. They're like, I don't care that I'm falling. I will shoot the plane.
I do love a good amount of stick-to-itiveness.
Oh!
Now, the question is his shield also vibranium? Did they get access to some vibranium?
I don't think so. I'm sure it's strong, but...
Yeah. What if it's adamantium?
The strongest of Russian metals.
Yes.
And wasn't...
That's also vodka.
Well, no, wasn't... Buddy's Russian. So you might be right with the adamantium. Buddy's Russian. Red. The tentacles come out of him. And he was in the same program as Deadpool, Sabretooth, and...
I don't know.
And he's Russian, though, and Buddy knows him, the guy that turns into metal. Colossus. The fuck is his name?
I don't know.
I keep wanting to say Red Sonja.
I really liked Colossus as a kid. That was somebody who I was really
Like
into.
when he was when
when
you
I
were
was a kid.
Oh.
When I was a kid, I was really into him.
I was like all those episodes of like Marvel babies.
Oh,
That's
God.
what they should do.
That would be amazing.
Kid Colossus, Kid Captain America. Oh yeah.
Tony Stark making ways to steal candy.
Yeah.
Like
I think we're onto something here, bud.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
It's over, Taskmaster. We're all chicks. We've found the power. Come with me.
Completely ignore the fact that they're all like different ages, but now they're all babies.
Yeah. Yeah, there doesn't have to be any real,
Watching a Hulk have baby temper tantrums.
Whoa.
Hulk poop.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think we just successfully wrote a show.
Fucking right we
All
did.
right, that's excellent.
How did they not know this place was up there?
Yeah.
It's like S.H.I.E.L.D. passed right by there all the time. They don't see it because it's a cloud. Is it a building in there? No, it's just a cloud.
Yeah. I think that, like, in this situation, because I know we've
Ooh.
discussed the faceless bad guys before, like the Chitauri or the robots and stuff, and that's usually to, like, avoid a crazy rating or something like that because you're killing a bunch of them. But I'm like, you're not watching a lot of them physically die in this one, like, other than, like, things are collapsing and whatever.
Right.
You're not actually seeing them physically die. And it's just making me wonder, I'm like, are they just faceless so that the stuntmen can be interchangeable?
Probably.
So, like, I think that's the only reason they're doing
Yeah.
that in this movie. It's like we've got 10 guys, and we got to use them a lot.
She said, no, it's not fun what you're about to do.
Yeah. That was one of the, like, from the look of those scenes, that was probably one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
It was like, it looked like bad.
Oh,
green
they're
screen for
dead.
both of them. Nah. See, his glasses.
He
survived.
should have been something else.
Yeah.
They think
That's-
it's done, and then he's like, I'm from space.
Yes. I'm Thanos Jr.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
This is cool. I dig this.
That was I saw an article on like Cinema Blend today when I was just doing research for the mini episode, and it said the article headline just said
Ooh.
Marvel just made Green Goblin more powerful than Thanos, and I just went, no, they fucking didn't. It just
like,
kept scrolling. Like
who
I'm not
said
even.
that? Like-
It was like Cinema Blend or somebody like Screen Rant or Cinema Blend, whatever. And I'm just like, no, they didn't. Like,
Yeah, what?
They definitively did not. So
Yeah,
we're
like
just
where
gonna
the,
go
where the
ahead.
fuck did they get that from?
I don't know.
Oh shit. No wings or nothing.
I want so badly to be
Her
like the.
tampon has wings.
Anyways, you can email podcast or miscastcommentary.
Oh, it's more of a pad really with wings. Sorry, ladies.
Nice. This is. I think Tom Holland is running up this for Uncharted to get
Oh
back
my
on
God.
the plane. This is a pretty cool
I know.
idea for a fight.
I know, it was pretty sweet, yeah.
Well, it's because it's interesting because it's really hard to come up with like original. You're like 20. This was the 24th Marvel movie.
Right.
And it's like you're starting to run out of places to originally fight somebody.
Right.
We've done space, we've done underwater, we've done everything.
Have they really done underwater?
I don't know, probably. I was
haven't
talking
seen a
about
lot of underwater. I read somewhere, like, I don't know how they know these things,
Yeah.
that Namor was going to be the bad guy
yes.
in, I was going to say Aquaman, not Aquaman.
No,
Black
yeah,
Panther 2.
Yes, I
Namor
heard-
was going to be the bad guy in Black Panther 2.
I had heard that.
Which I'm like, what? Like,
I had heard that he was going to be in a couple of them.
oh, suit wars.
Oh. No, don't
You
wear
know
that
it's not
suit.
going well when your suit whirs.
You don't want
It
that.
looks like a Pym particle.
It does look like a Pym particle.
Oh,
That was actually
That
was actually something I loved in Hawkeye when he used when he shrunk the car.
Oh my god! I like
With
when
the
he made
Pym-
the arrow huge.
That one was good too. But when he shrinks the car and then he goes to pick it up and then he's like,
like, what
oh,
do
what
we
are they
do
going to do?
now?
And then the owl comes and scoops it.
Oh
and
yeah, I
takes
was
it.
like, they're
He's
dead.
"Oh, there they go."
They are dead. That bird's
I
going
was-
to be a man-eater
Well,
now.
I was really curious why they showed you the owl in the tree.
Oh, I thought it was just a
30
cute
Rock,
little
and it-
thing that they were doing,
Well,
right?
but I was just like, but at the same time, I'm like, it was just seemed so weird, like just like such a weird non sequitur.
Right.
And then it came back, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. You know what I was actually looking forward to seeing? Because there's the scene in the end of No Way Home where he actually swings it's Christmas time and he swings over Rockefeller Center and you see the tree. I wanted to see the tree down to find out that the two events overlapped with each other, and the only reason that like Hawkeye didn't, you know, go to Spider-Man for help or anything is because he didn't know about him.
Right.
Because it like I was like, that would have been so badass. Is like
right.
Because it was like the time later, right?
Right. His memory was erased of him, which I think is a little much too. I'm like, my God, you can make a spell that every single person in the planet will forget something. I'm like, holy Christ.
Yeah, but at the same time, actually, I really liked somebody wrote like the biggest plot hole in that movie, and it's just a quick meme. Tom Holland goes up, he's like, I want everybody to forget about Mysterio. And then Doctor Strange goes, okay, and then just the end. Because if they forget about Mysterio didn't tell him that he's Spider-Man, and everything else didn't happen.
Yes. Yeah, good call.
And everything's back to normal. But that's okay.
Mysterio. That's actually really good.
Yeah. These things happen.
Their emotions are coming out. They're Black Widows. Yeah. They haven't cried in years.
Oh, yeah. Imagine they did, and they just had the biggest cry. They were just like, ah! Like, and they're CGing tears, like just shooting out of them. It's just like, it's like you women are great actresses. Like this scene currently has an Oscar winner and 2 Oscar nominees in it. William Hurt, another Oscar winner in this movie. David Harbour, sorry, Hellboy didn't get you anything, but And your tiny role in Quantum of Solace didn't pick you in, and
they could have given him a little more action in that scene, but it's a chick movie. It's all right.
I know, right? But you know what? And I think that this is a very David Harbour thing. I fully believe that he was very on board with so supportive of yeah, but not everybody, like, actors, a lot of egos in acting, role,
right? And then show up and be a dick about it.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, come on, no, I want more. Like, I'm supposed to be a big
add me in another action scene.
Yeah.
Like, no, sorry, bud.
I know how much you like it.
Also from watching the Endgame and Thing, I don't believe Mark Ruffalo's, like, I don't know, some of the scenes in Endgame where he's like, I'm not the Hulk, but I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't believe it.
What
I don't think Mark Ruffalo is the best choice for Hulk. I used to think about it. After I watched Endgame and everything again, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like,
it's that thing of, like, I talked about it with when it was Andrew Garfield. Like, I always said that Andrew Garfield was a much better Peter Parker than he was a Spider-Man, and there's been other people who are like better Batman than Bruce Wayne and things like that.
You're supposed to hire for Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I think that that's like, at the beginning, like with Avengers, he was the right guy.
Right.
For it. And then I think as they added this extra conflict, I don't think he was the right guy anymore. Like, he's still good. He's still Mark Ruffalo. He's fine. But, like, I think that there's something that he's not.
It just seems like he's disingenuine during every scene almost or something. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know. It's like I never really noticed it before until rewatching Infinity War and Endgame.
He's disingenuine, like, my pony.
Yeah, exactly.
But, nod.
The old nod.
Nice. She's going on a hell of a mission.
Where are they going? Back to Russia?
No, they're going to go save all the other
Black Widows. She's like, I got Avengers shit I gotta do.
Well, she has to hide from the world because she's like
a wanted Fuji.
Yeah. She's a Fuji.
Oh, fuck. She's just to play dead.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you getting out of here?
Then she goes, smoke bomb, and she throws a smoke bomb, and then you just watch her walk in the other direction.
She's gone!
Oh, my God. Absolutely. It's like, should we look anywhere else for her? It's like, no. Look at the smoke bomb. It'll give us a clue.
There you go.
Anything could happen from here.
Oh, exactly.
Birds are chirping. See, we're good.
Collection.
I always had the weirdest feeling that she was, like, opening her eyes here, like, and it was going to be her at her grave, like she came back to life. I was like, this is how they're bringing her back?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. Where is she now?
Yeah, this is a flash forward flashback because this is still in the past. See, now she's blonde for Infinity War.
There you go.
Has he been asleep there the whole time?
Yes, he has.
What an interesting, like, weird role. I picture getting this and going, like, I'm so excited I'm in a Marvel movie. And he's like, what am I in this?
Yeah. You're just the guy.
Yeah, I'm just the guy, but it's just like, do you got what I need? Yeah, I do. Okay,
Where the
thanks.
fuck did he get this thing from?
Yeah. Yeah, right? It's like, I know a guy.
That's good.
And that's the one that she's actually flying in Infinity War when she goes to... and she ends up giving the jet to...
Hawkeye.
yeah. Or Cap and people.
And so on and so forth.
So far, I don't know. I think there were Freddy Krueger's in it. I don't know. Full disclosure, I haven't seen any Marvel movies. DC till I fucking die.
Oh, she's gonna break out a few out of prison.
Yeah.
Oh, she's talking about the Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah, see, they're all,
Some.
it was just everybody but Tony. He's like,
And that-
the team's broken up. Well, no,
And
not
that
really,
idiot
Tony.
Ant-Man. Well, I think I get what he thinks he's trying to say. Is like that the spirit of what they like. Yes, they're
Right.
together as a group, but they are no longer the Avengers. It's like the spirit of what we were supposed to be is gone.
Which he ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. The theme.
Oh, I understand.
Do you?
Not really. So it's a movie.
What?
So like just a bunch of pictures back. To
What
back?
is? Oh, never mind. I was like, are we seeing the blasters through the bush here? I'm like, what the
Yes.
fuck is happening here? But no, it's the old fireflies.
This is the Tree of Life from Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's like now they have to feature a Disney park at the end of every Marvel movie.
What was with the fireflies? Is that something?
Yeah, it's. I think she becomes Firefly.
Oh,
so that's
cool. Cool. I think that was one of those, you know, servicing of the fans.
This is now knowing how long credits take for Marvel movies. Do you really need to space out these credits that far? This is like when you don't know what you're talking about when you're writing a paper and you start writing in gigantic letters.
I know, it's called the Dean Koontz effect. Where you just have as many fucking giant spaces as you possibly can, and once one chapter ends, 2 blank pages later, then halfway down that one is where the next chapter starts.
There were, of all the widows, there were 2 Jades and 2 Lucys.
Oh,
That was worth knowing,
weird.
right? Ooh, and then there's somebody, Natasha's stunt double
Like
with
they're-
Heidi Moneymaker and CC Ice.
Hi,
both-
Moneymaker.
It was like this. It sounds.
Kept her strip name.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds exclusively like rap girlfriends. It's like the women upon which champagne is poured on their asses.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way I drink champagne.
Yes. I feel so impatient when we get to this point in these episodes because we've covered what we really want to cover. Now we're just waiting for the after credits scene.
Yes.
So I'm scanning. I'm going, oh, what funny name?
I know, right? I've given
What
up on
funny
that
name?
game. I'm like, fucking forgot it.
Gary Martin, a guy named Gary in this day.
So
Oh my God,
who-
Matthew Broderick was supervising standby props.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's real.
So okay, so what do we got next now? Okay, we got Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking like in theaters.
Yeah,
right
yeah. No. I mean, like in the Marvel.
now. Okay, because for us, Shang-Chi is the next one for us
That's
to
right.
watch.
I
which
think Shang-Chi's fucking
We're
awesome.
gonna do in 2 weeks. But yeah, so we just had No Way Home. Multiverse of Madness is next. Let's actually look
And
up
then-
and let's see like the upcoming.
Oh, that's like Wanda and him together, and then we've got what else?
all sorts of stuff.
Spider-Man's now out. It was the Eternal Spider-Man. Now we'll have the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
There's a Black Panther 2 in there somewhere.
Yep.
Which I think like somebody had just come out and said that Chadwick Boseman would have wanted to recast Black Panther, and I'm like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, you can't get rid of an entire character because
Yeah.
somebody untimely death. Like,
But
Jesus Christ,
here's the thing about Marvel: you can, because he does get replaced when he dies in the comics.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
No, but he doesn't get replaced with another dude. He gets replaced by his sister.
Oh, right. I know. Well, somebody else is Black Panther.
Yes,
like,
yes.
whoever.
Yeah,
But to be like, we can never have the character of Black Panther because Chadwick Boseman died is like ridiculous.
It was like I thought you just meant like T'Challa in general.
No,
I'm like,
no. I just mean like
die.
recasting the Black Panther, right?
Yeah, no,
like,
absolutely.
I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Of course.
And
like,
we're literally in the middle of doing that for almost every other character.
Yeah,
like
what?
Thor's changing, like everybody's changing. Okay, so we just so the May 6th is Multiverse of Madness. Sometime in the summer of 2022 is Ms. Marvel.
There you go, Marvel 2. Oh, Ms.
Marvel, featuring a young Scarborough, Ontario Muslim girl as the star, which is awesome. Then Thor: Love and Thunder is July 2022.
There you go, yeah. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's somewhere in here too. She-Hulk is...
It's a lot of Thor.
Yep. She-Hulk's coming in 2022. That will also feature Mark Ruffalo in it. He's going to... But I don't know that he's in the whole thing, but I know he's in some of it because I've seen clips.
Do you think that Thor is going to be in a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, knowing that he has his own solo movie coming out as well?
I don't know. Because Chris Pratt's also in Thor: Love and Thunder.
I'll bet you a little bit.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of crossover.
Yeah, so there's I don't think it's going to be gigantic, but I think
like the beginning of like Thor will be like them dropping him off or something.
See ya.
He's like, thanks for helping me get rid of my gut. See ya.
There you go. November
flexing.
There you go. November 11th is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The Marvels is February 17th, 2023.
What the fuck is that?
That's the new Captain Marvel movie.
Oh, sorry, that sounds like The Incredibles or some shit. I was like...
And Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn are both going to be in it. The director of Candyman, Nia Costa, is directing this one.
Oh, yeah, Candyman. I gotta see that new Candyman.
Then Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special comes.
Oh, my God.
In the December of 2022.
A holiday special. God love them.
Then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in May of 2023.
Yeah, they had to push it back because of the whole firing and rehiring thing.
And then they've placed Fantastic Four in July of 2023, but they don't really know.
Oh.
And then Blade is November 2023, their guess. Then Captain America.
Kind of weird that they're going with Blade.
Yeah.
And of all the characters that they could...
Yeah. See, to me, and again, it's the stupidest thing. It's like, compared to everything else, there's just like this weird, like, that's not realistic. Like all this other alien craziness, magic and all that's all happening. But there's a vampire in the middle of all that? Come on.
Well, they got Dracula.
Right.
They got dragons introduced.
Yeah.
I dig it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for it.
Blow the doors right off.
And again, I'm like I said, I'm very easy when it comes to, we're going to explain vampires to you in 5 seconds. And it's like, okay, vampires are a thing. Great. And it's like, it could literally just be like Happy Hogan just opens up a newspaper and it just says vampires are a thing now. And then that's it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in. Captain America 4 is early 2024.
Oh, I'm very interested in all of them. Yeah. But that one, awesome. I want to see Falcon as as new Cap.
Yeah, Deadpool 3 is in May of 2024. Again, these are all our guesses. Then they said Spider-Man 4 by 2024. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Shang-Chi 2 is in 2024. Moon Knight is sometime later. That's a show. Secret Invasion is also a show coming in the next couple of years featuring
Ben Mendelsohn.
Sam Jackson and, I'm sure Ben Mendelsohn too, but Sam Jackson and Kobe Smulders. Ironheart, which I don't know anything about.
That's the chick, I think that's the new Iron Man.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Another girl.
That's exactly what it is, too.
Yeah.
It says here, Riri Williams is a robotics genius who builds a suit of armor more advanced than anything Tony Stark devised in his lifetime. And then Armor Wars.
Oh my God, it's going to be like all the suits versus each other.
Yeah. It sounds like that's going to be...
she's at her grave. I forgot about this, actually.
Yeah. That Armor Wars is going to feature Don Cheadle. And there's a Groot show. There's all sorts of shit. It just goes and goes and goes. I do like...
all these bears.
She likes bears. Because she's like, maybe she was just really into hairy, fat gay guys.
Maybe this is just before she goes to get Clint.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is specifically what it is.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, because we're going to have a moment where you're going to see that. See, I misremembered this because I remembered watching this and she did that whistle, and then I thought I heard a whistle back.
Oh.
And then I was like, and I thought that was going to like hint that Natasha's not dead or something. But no, you're getting this.
Oh.
Oh, you forget? Did you forget about this?
I totally forgot about this.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is back. Or this was
I'm
this was
allergic
supposed
to the Midwest.
Yeah, this was supposed to be her first.
Oh,
appearance.
I love you so much, woman.
I know, and she was still like she was fighting cancer at this point too when she shot this. Valentina, so they know each other.
Yeah,
and we're about to get the thing that actually like goes into the next bit. But I'm so glad she's a part of this, though. She's so fantastic. And because you don't know right now which side she's on. She seems weird and crooked, but she might not be. And it's just like... So, she's still obviously an assassin for hire. And again, this ties into Hawkeye.
I totally forgot about this. Totally forgot about this part.
And this is the man responsible for your sister's death. And this is her tie-in. And this is the tie-in to Hawkeye.
Man, they're just playing this shit out, eh?
They're so
what
good at
the
it.
fuck? Like,
it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like Feige and his little crew are sitting there and they're just drawing lines to think.
Wow.
So fantastic.
There goes another one, baby.
All right, guys. We are... Oh, that wasn't as long as I recall them.
They make those ones like they do.
Yes. They still continue to make them like this.
They certainly do.
All right, guys. That is it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and all those good things. And find us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. On Twitter, find us at miscastpodcast. I'm at miscastjoe. Todd's at miscasttodd. On TikTok, at Miscast Commentary. I'm at miscastjoe there. Instagram, Todd's at Tebow the Sailor. And we're at Miscast Commentary, but I never post on TikTok or on Instagram. Sorry about that. So yeah, follow us everywhere you can follow us. Like and subscribe.
Follow me on the street.
Rate and do all that. Yeah, tackle him and you touch his butthole from behind. He enjoys that, despite the fact.
Don't let me see your face, though.
No,
it's a thing.
No, yeah. Yeah, the second
walk my head forward and just get her done.
He just sits there. He sees you and goes, "Oh no, there's a connection."
Exactly.
But until next week, guys, we're gonna have another mini-sode, and we're spoiler alert Shang-Chi's after that. But we're just spreading it out so we can talk about more stuff, and we don't go so long without like covering the goings on,
covering the spread,
right? So we will. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.